Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Comic Talk Live, or Hobby Talk Live, or we're just going to live talk.
We don't even know what to call it.
Welcome, Pope. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, man, I can't complain. I was shooting some hoops with my kids, so
Oh,
that's
shooting the hoops.
why my hair looks like it's a hot mess. Little breezy out.
You mean a masterpiece? Your hair
Yeah,
looks like a
certainly.
masterpiece.
Yeah, maybe I should throw my hat on so we can. Is that better?
That's a pretty cool hat.
Yeah, it's the city hat for the Baltimore Orioles.
I dig it. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, makes my hair tough out a bit, but it sits weird though. I think my head's freaking huge. That's the problem. Uh, it was like 91 here today, man. We just had snow like a week ago. It's bizarre. Can't handle it.
Hey, Hazel Dan.
Hazel Dan, what's going on, y'all? This episode is fueled by Diet Dew.
I guess my end is fueled by BioSteel.
Oh, that's the official drink of the Canadian Hockey League and the NHL.
Yep.
In
I
case
kept
you're wondering,
seeing it. Wanted to try it.
how does it taste? What's your official take?
Well, the only one the flavor I picked up was the rainbow twist. And
Oh, yeah?
it's not horrible, but it kind of has a little bit of a taste of like cough syrup.
That sounds so make you feel better and quench your thirst.
That's right.
Comes with a quick shot of penicillin.
Yep. It's
Well,
probably from like during all this COVID and like being sick. When I got sick, it's just like I gotta wean myself off the NyQuil.
sure, makes sense. That can become very addicting.
Do you have the NyQuil shakes? BioSteel.
Oh gosh, how's your week been? What you been up to?
Oh, it's been really busy. We have a show opening up Friday, so we've been trying to get like our set built, finished up. Just a lot of crazy stuff like that. But I've actually went to my LCS today during lunch break. And I got quite a few comics from the dollar bins, the Spankies, the Spanky boxes.
You find me any Street Fighter comics?
They didn't have any Street Fighter comics.
Man, I need some jury covers, man. I'm jonesing.
You're jonesing.
I'll show you what I'm drinking now.
Yeah.
So there's a little thing called Liquid IV. It's twice the hydration of regular water.
No.
So I feel like I'm like chronically dehydrated because I can never seem. I mean, I have, not that anyone needs to know my business, but I have an illness that causes you to be very thirsty all the time. So I've been trying this double hydration stuff, and tastes all right. So this is golden cherry, which is clearly golden cherry.
What's up, E-Man?
Hey, just the man I was thinking of. So I did an AOK video, if you guys saw earlier this week, and most of it came from Mr. E-Man Tony right there. But his nephew Lorenzo, shout out to Lorenzo, he pointed out that I left out two very important gifts that he sent me, and I want to make sure I rectify that tonight. So without any hesitation, since he's alive, I'm going to show. This is one of the gifts.
Yeah, that that needs some rectifying, sir.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I was like, oh
Like,
shit, man! Like I literally, because I had put them in my CGC box already, so I wasn't even like thinking. Um. So, anyways, this is Something is Killing the Children, number 16, 9.8. It's a Miko Seian cover, and it's actually probably my favorite cover from the number 16 covers that they did. It's definitely one of my top favorites. Um, and then this is a cover I know you've never seen. I've never seen it, and I was straight freaking fire, man. Like, how the hell I forgot these on my video is beyond me. I can only ask for forgiveness and rectify it. But I'm gonna butcher her name again because I literally can never get her name right. But this is an awesome cover called Zero Day Threat number 1 from Red 5 Comics. It's the Sun Kamanaki cover. I think I totally nailed it. I think I just nailed
you
that.
did. You nailed it.
It doesn't even like really look like her work because typically her faces look the same. But another 9.8, and this one's like super limited. It even comes with a certificate of authenticity inside the holder.
Ooh.
I've never seen that before. It's serial numbered. This is number 7 of 20. So really freaking cool book, man. I would venture to say that's for me, it's one of her best covers. Like, it just doesn't have that weird look about her face. Like, I don't know if I can get it up there close enough. Probably not. But anyways, super thank you, man. Like, I really do appreciate you and Lorenzo hooking me up. But yeah, I want to make
They
sure.
hooked you up, sir. They like.
Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. Like he literally, like, I got, that second box was just like super unexpected, and I was like, oh my gosh. But anyways, much thanks. I can't even, like, and I found the other book that I was missing. My daughter took off with. That was the My Little Pony book. He sent 2 books for my girls, so I couldn't show that one because my daughter already took off with it.
Lorenzo says you're good now.
Good, thank you. I do appreciate the love for sure. But yeah, it's really like unbelievable, like the friendships you make, in this community / niche community. I don't know what you want to call it. Like, our little bubble of the community is good people. Like, I mean, through all the last 5-6 years, you and I have never physically met in person, but we talk to each other all the time. Like, it's not, Hazel, Dan, I talk to them every day, literally every day. Happy birthday again. Her birthday was yesterday.
Yes, happy birthday.
So I don't know if she didn't show me any presents that she got. So I have some presents I got to send her because there's just been a situation getting to the post office for me. So anyways, I guess I could just buy the label online. There's the thought. But anyways, yeah, I just think, like, I wrote, I got a message from, I'm not sure how you say it. I think it's Volsey on Instagram. Tony knows him. They're friends, but he messaged me just basically saying, hey, I see all the covers you're posting. I like the same kind of stuff you do. That's cool. Which, hey, the more the merrier, right?
Yeah, that's usually how it rolls, how it starts. The next thing you got 10 million comic books, and then you have a comic book room.
I don't have a room, but someday.
Well, I kind of feel bad because I almost feel like I tricked my wife. I was like, "Oh yeah, this will be the computer room," and then we'll set the computer up, and then I'll just put my comics and shit around it.
Yeah, you build your comic room around the computer. Makes sense. Oh, that's right. I forgot that Hazel Dan got her birthday present early. She already showed it to me. It was I think it was a Rose Besh remark.
Ooh.
We're just getting started, man. So come back, hang out. We'll be on for at least an hour. Um, I would imagine we're long-winded types.
Yeah, we could talk for a while.
Yeah.
By the way, what's up, Tat?
Yeah, I it's just been this week has just been weird. Like I forgot like it doesn't even feel like Wednesday today, which I guess happy new comic book day.
I know, right?
Do you buy any new books anymore? Like what's your deal?
Uh, I did purchase some new books.
Yeah?
Uh, but to be honest, like most of them I ordered online, so they're gonna be a while. Um, but I did. I think I just recently picked up the Alex Ross the Venom cover. Uh, because Alex Ross has been knocking out a whole bunch of cool like covers for almost every Marvel title there is, and like I don't want all of them. I'm just like gonna nitpick a few, but like I mean he's done like anywhere from like Doctor Doom to Baron Zemo, uh, Emma Frost, Magneto, just a whole bunch, man. They look pretty good. Uh,
He must have mortgage due or something.
so he just pumped out a lot of stuff.
Well,
No, man.
he does like spurts where he doesn't really do any covers. You don't see much Alex Ross, and then there's an explosion of Alex Ross, and um, so yeah, it's. I mean, more Alex Ross. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he's a
Oh, nothing
fantastic.
wrong with that at all. I think the most I've seen him consistently lately, and I say lately, but it was with that Incredible Hulk or like the Immortal Hulk or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he was consistently pumping out covers for that book. But I don't know. It's funny. It's like rents due. What's up, Marvel?
Pretty much. Do you ever like when you buy comics online? Do you ever get like extra books from sellers?
I haven't in a long time. I used to get pretty lucky, like if I bought stuff from eBay, and like sometimes a lot of those sellers would send me an extra book. Uh, I know, which we'll be talking about soon, is Kickstarters. I know that what like the oh my god, the one second. The Gaslighters, they usually have that op. They'll like throw you a free book.
Oh yeah. On the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always got the free book thing going, man. Um, I'm
Well, I
digging
think
him.
it's pretty cool though because like if you don't have enough money and there's like two covers that you want,
Sure.
you can get one cover and then like whenever the Kickstarter's ready, you get your survey, then you get to pick another cover that you want. So you can pick the cover that you couldn't afford for free. Like so, it's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, Murder Hobo. That just sounds awesome.
The Murder Hobo.
Well, I just asked because I got a book like thrown in with an order recently, and I'm like, what in
God,
the
I
hell?
hope it's
I don't even know. Like Flamingo famous features. It says on the back it's a major publishing event for fantasy. Oh, sorry,
Yes, it
Pathway
is.
to Fantasy. But it's a Joe Chiodo cover. So if you know Joe Chiodo, he does a lot of stuff with Zombie Tramp,
Oh yeah.
or at least with Dan Mendoza stuff. I'm pretty sure. I think I have a Zombie Tramp cover coming from him. But anyways, this is from 1984,
1984. Wow.
and she is a dancer doing the salsa.
Yep.
But
The
anyways,
Flamingo
I
Dancer.
just I just think it's funny like where these people just like, oh man, here's my big stack of beat to hell shit books I need to get rid of, but I don't want to donate them, so I'm gonna stick them with every order. But anyways, I just find it interesting when people just throw in stuff that has like literally nothing to do with what you ordered.
Oh yeah.
You know, here's your current issue of Patriotica. Here's a 1984 Flamingo book.
You're
Thank
like,
you.
yes, thank you so much. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I was given something pretty good, but other times it's like you said, it was just like a random issue of X Force, like, and not like the good Clayton Crane covers. I'm talking about you know when X Force first had a comic book in the '90s, and it was like after Todd McFarlane was done doing covers. It was just like, oh, okay.
I saw something today I've never seen before. Um, I sent a picture of it to Hazel Dan. We were just discussing it, but it was a GI Joe comic book that was a homage to Adam Hughes, the Adam Hughes cover with where Power Girl's floating and the airplane's underneath her.
Uh-huh.
That's like the 2006 Justice Society, I think it was classified maybe. But anyways, that was the forever will be the book that got me back into comic books in 2006. But anyways, at the on the bottom, you know how normally when there's like a homage cover, it'll say after McFarlane or after whomever. Well, this one says all praise to AH exclamation point. It was almost like how like they always say all praise to Allah or whatever. That's how I felt when I was reading it. I was like, that's weird. Like,
Huh?
what a strange
Maybe,
thing to write on a
maybe
book,
that's
though.
their way of saying Hail Cobra, and they were just kind of like, all hail Adam Hughes.
Maybe, but I'd never seen that before, and it was a cover B, so it wasn't like a super rare book or anything, but it was just bizarre. I should have dug it out and showed it to you on live, but I'd already packed it away. I could
You're
probably
like,
get to
wow,
it.
it's done. It's in the past. Kuna
Well,
Matata.
I was just doing some sorting today because I don't have the space that I once had. So, you know.
I know. I know.
But yeah, you said you got some new books. You got some dollar books. You're going to be making another video, I assume.
Yeah. In fact, if you want to, I could show you the books that I bought from. Where did I get these? 616. No, these might have been the golden. No, I think I got these from 616.
I think
But
I think I still have some stuff coming from Golden Apple. I think some Adam Hughes Rocketeer stuff whenever that comes out.
yeah, I think. Yeah, I got something from Golden Apple coming as well. No, I lied. I think this did come from Golden Apple because I had two orders that I ordered. But the one I really love this cover is the Vampirilla Year One, the number 6, the Perillo cover.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw a lot of people posting that one.
Oh yeah. So I picked that up, and then they had this Rose Besh, the cherry tart book,
Oh yeah, that's cute.
but it had came in a combo of this, and then they had the Virgin cover.
Oh, that's no virgin on that cover.
Yeah, so, yeah. I took a I bought one earlier of I think it was I forgot who did the cover. The other one I got. It may have been a Rose Besh cover. It was either that or a Peach Momoko cover.
I know you had sent me a Peach Momoko number cherry pop tart number 2.
Okay, so yeah, I guess there must have been that, and that's when I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, I didn't either
And
until
then I opened it up and I was like, "What?" I was like, "All right, of course it would be. Why not?"
right.
But I just thought it was funny. I was just like, "Oh, this is cool. A really cool cover." And then when I get it, there's what is it, 1970s like porn in there, and I was just like,
Yep.
okay, that's a little strange, but
That was like my experience with Totally Rad comics.
You're like, I like totally rad things.
I do, and the covers are awesome because they always get Shikari to do the covers, and I mean, there's other people, but I always chase Shikari covers. Man, I finally opened one up just to see what it was like, and holy hell, it was page 7 comics all over again.
Yep.
Man.
Good old page 7.
Yep, made me blush. Then I was like, well, shit, I can't keep this around kids. They'll be asking me questions I cannot explain.
Well, I mean, I guess you could, but it'd be,
Yeah.
a very awkward conversations.
It can't be any worse than what my stepmom's conversation with me was like at that age. So
And I do have to, what's that?
that was probably the most awkward conversation of all time.
Like I never got the talk. I just kind of guess like learned from my peers.
Well, yeah, I didn't need the talk, but she felt compelled to give me the talk, and I'm just like, I mean, first of all, you have to. It's all about setting, right? You got to get the setting right. The setting is a young 12-year-old me living in the backwoods. My stepmom didn't say much. She wasn't a talker. She would talk to me occasionally. I was the favorite. My sister and I have agreed that I was the favorite. But yeah, and we only went to town once a month, so we didn't go anywhere. Like, we didn't do anything. I didn't go to my first restaurant until I was 14 years old.
Wow.
So that tells you like my childhood, and that's not an exaggeration. Like, my sister and I joked, if it weren't for lights, we would have been Amish. Like, it was just that's just how we were. So anyway, so one day she's like, hey, I need you to go with me to the gas station to get some bread. And I'm like, first red flags going off. And I'm thinking, what did I do? What did I do? I didn't hit nobody. I haven't been in any fights. I haven't done anything stupid lately. Like, what could this possibly be that I'm about to get my ass chewed for? And of course, I'm nervous as hell because she don't say a word the whole time to the gas station. She just sits there silently driving. It's like, 5-6 miles, no big deal. And we go in, we get the bread, drive back. We're like halfway home. And she breaks the silence with this exact quote. Back in the old days, men used to take their sons to whorehouses to lose their virginity. I said, you're taking me to a whorehouse? And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, then why are we having this conversation?
You're going to learn how to butter the bread, sir.
And she just kind of proceeds to go into, there's going to be days where you do the asking, and there's going to be days when girls do the asking. And all I'm telling you is, if you need something, go to your dad or your uncle. I said, okay, got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. I get home and I'm like, what the fuck just happened to me?
You went and got the bread, sir.
I did.
Oh, Lord.
Thankfully, I didn't get bread with the side of chlamydia. But anyways, that's the true story of my learning about the birds and the bees from my wonderful stepmom. God rest her soul. I got something for E-Man. Came the other day. Look at
that was an awesome transition. And that's how I learned about the birds and the bees. I got this really cool thing from E-Man yesterday.
No, it's for him. I got it for him. It came with
him.
This is a koozie with a lovely Zenoscope koozie. With some nice art. St. Patty's Day themed.
Yeah, that goes well. St. Patty's Day cozies. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, right? I mean, of all the holidays, if you want to have a koozie for it, makes sense to have that one.
Oh, yeah.
So, you want to show some books, or what do you got going
on? There is one book. I mean, there's like a shit ton show. I'll probably just do that in the video later, but
sure.
There is one book that I picked up And I will go ahead and say that I did pay $5 for it.
What?
I
That's
know,
like
right?
$5 books. You're welcome, my man. You're welcome.
Well, you're probably not gonna like this book, but
I'm not gonna like this book.
I picked it up for a reason, and you know, I was like, this is gonna be some. I think what I would figure would be pretty interesting conversations is that I had no idea that Whatnot was a publishing company.
Oh yeah, man, they got their own thing going.
Like I thought it was just an app to like buy stuff, like like to sell comics and shit.
Well, they got a whole slew of people working for them now.
Yeah, so I just found it interesting. So I pulled it out of this bag and board, and on the back, apparently this is a retailer thank you variant,
Oh,
and it's a sampler.
gotcha.
So, which I think is kind of weird because like these in themselves are kind of like eBay material. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because like they have like you know like little shorts of like the books that are coming out. Like they have Alpha Betas, Ninja Funk, Quested, the Exiled, and they
I,
like and
I
just looking.
have I have one of the covers for Quested. I have the Chrissy Zulo cover.
So like I just thought it was interesting that like
Well,
for
that
one that they have like their sampler is like a thank you retailer edition, like because like just saying that in itself is kind of like because this is not even shit, like this is just a thing that like you give to retailers to be like, hey, this is what's coming out in the future, would you like to buy these,
like a preview book.
yeah, and put them in your store. But instead they called it a thank you retail sampler. So it's just kind of like, so this is like a rare cover. This is just a retail.
Of a preview book.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
Well,
whatnot.
I mean, but like my thing is like, in my logic of thinking is like that tells me that there are other sampler books,
Right.
and that this is a variant cover.
You would think so.
So like,
Have you researched it?
no, I haven't. Like, I bought this today, and I was
Okay.
just like, wow, that's interesting to me.
Huh.
Yeah, but I'm guessing like all these like because it has a shit ton. I don't know if you could really see it, but like there's the shit ton of artist names.
All in the button, the yellow
Yeah,
wall.
I mean there's like Kevin Eastman. I don't know Wesley Snipes, but they got Kyle Starks. I mean, there's just a shit ton of names in the background, so it's kind of like, you know, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's almost like, are these people contracted? Are these artists and writers contracted to Whatnot?
I don't know. Tony
Or,
said
or do they?
it holds all the first appearances of the titles.
Or I was gonna say, or like, did they have like an image kind of deal going on?
I don't know. I really try to stay away from the whatnot stuff myself, just because I don't like some of the people involved, and I'm just straight up don't care for them as humans. So I just don't want anything to do with them. Uh,
Okay,
so
so E-Man's saying, I know you probably just said this, it holds all the first appearances of their titles. Okay.
but I did pick up like Ninja Funk #3 when it first came out. They had a variant of the NYX3 homage. It's like the only NYX3 homage out there. But after all the whatnot stuff went down, I just decided to back away from the whatnot. So, but that's just my personal choice. It has nothing to do with anyone else. But they're just. I think it could be a good thing if they had the right people in place. Maybe not so many shady characters.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But Anyways, it's an interesting book nonetheless. I wonder. I mean, I'll be curious how the publishing holds up long term. I
Yeah.
mean, they obviously, anyone who knows whatnot, comic books and collectibles. I mean, they're way deeper than comic books and baseball cards or Pokemon cards. They go Funko Pops. They go Disney stuff. There's crazy amounts of things on whatnot you can get sucked into. Like, it's not just our little tiny corner of the
Uh-huh.
collecting
Oh
community.
yeah.
So, with that said, some of the people that are in place there are just like they may not be long-term solutions to what they're trying to achieve. Is what I'm getting at. Once things get overhauled and maybe comic books become more of a focus for whatnot, then you know who knows what can happen down the road. But we'll see.
The E-Man saying it was $20 on their website a while back. So
Huh. But you only got it for $5.
yeah. But I mean,
So
the thing is like even like being able to get this like retailer thank you cover, like you can just buy it off their website. Which I mean, that's what I'm trying to say is like it's funny because like you could turn around and put this book up on whatnot, like for people to buy.
well,
So,
I think a lot of them, if I'm not mistaken, when they do their contracts, they provide some of the sellers with their variants, the whatnot exclusive stuff.
no,
So I would be more than willing to bet someone was selling that on their show at some point.
uh,
Because that's kind of when they did all those was it Kirkham variants with the Invincible and all that stuff, and it was like people were paying like $1,000 for some of
oh
them.
my god! Like I'm out of that loop, man. Like the
Yeah.
only like the one time that I was like, I like you did a whatnot. I think
Did
that
I ever?
I think that's the only whatnot like thing that I really watched. I tried to look at it like when you like because you're the one that told me about it, and I saw a couple things like some of the like people selling their books, but like it was just I don't know. To me, it's just not. It's just not my thing, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't been on in forever. The last thing I went on for was there was a Kanto set that I needed to get for Hazel Dan, um, unbeknownst to them, but I wanted to make sure that I grabbed it for them because I know they were looking at it, but they're also anti whatnot. Um, so that was the last time I used the app. Period. Like I just,
You stepped into the shit so they wouldn't have to.
well, I was there. I had the boots on. I was ready to go.
You're like, I'll step in the shit for a little bit.
Cat's back home.
Welcome home, Tat.
I think he wants to join us.
Is he gonna join us? Is
I
that
don't
what
know.
that means?
I need his email to send him a link if he wants to get on. That's how we have to do things. So I don't think I might have his email from years ago. Let's find out, shall we?
From the days of him being our first guest on, or at least he was our first guest, wasn't he? Like our very first guest?
I think so.
Because I want to say he was our very first guest
No, I don't have it.
when we did the comics and cold ones.
Heck yeah. I don't have his email in here.
He said, "If you'll have me, we'll have you, Tat."
We'll have you. Just throw me an email so I can send it to you quick.
Oh yeah, like I did buy a couple figurines, but I say figurines, but I'll go ahead and show these, I guess. But these were interesting to me because I've never seen these, and I'm a big Star Wars fan. But uh, there's like a little Mickey Mouse that's a Luke Skywalker, and they got their blades in this bag. Haven't pulled them out. But then I thought I never seen these before and thought these were pretty funny. And then they had like Goofy as Darth Vader,
Oh wow.
and
Is
then
that
they and this is my favorite. They had Stitch as the Emperor Palpatine.
Oh, that's awesome. I have a Lilo and Stitch or a Stitch. Every time my kids get something, they see Stitch stuff. They always give me Stitch stuff. Funny how kids work, huh?
And this was really cool. This is the other figurine I bought because I didn't know that Wizard did these, but apparently uh, it's a Toy Fair exclusive. This is Allie Baggett. It says Allie Baggett is Alley Cat. But I just saw the Wizard on it.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, Wizard Harry. So I just thought it was really cool. Do you guys know anything about like I guess like Wizard pumping out like I guess figurines?
I
Because
sent it to
the only
you.
thing I know that Wizard did was like the comic price
Well,
guy.
was it from their like Comic Con though, like Wizard Con or Wizard World, I think it was called. I sent you the link, Tat.
Oh yeah, it does say wizardworld.com. So
Okay, so yeah, that was probably one of their con give out. They do a lot of con exclusives.
oh yeah,
So you might have just struck gold, brother.
this was back in 1999.
You gonna party like it's 1999?
I sure am. Every day is 1999 as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Let's see here. I never actually got to go to a Wizard World convention.
I haven't either, but I remember obviously seeing the advertisements for it now that you said it, and like the Wizard magazines, and I just never. I've always wanted to go, but I think they're always like. Well, first off, I was a young punk ass kid, and I know my parents were gonna drive me to like Florida or wherever the hell they were having them to like go to a Comic Con. So
Tad, it says you need to connect your devices, your mic and your whatnot. You need to connect your mic and camera before you can add you to the stream.
Bing.
Bing. I don't know if he's even. I don't even know if he's listening. So. But yeah, I like some of those Wizard World exclusive comics.
Hazel Dan said the first con they went to was the Wizard World.
Was it Wizard World Dallas by chance?
I wanted to say the big one. I remember the city I remember hearing was like San Diego for some reason.
Never been there either.
And maybe that's probably the reason why like I never really thought I would be able to go. Because like my parents are not gonna let me go to fucking San Diego.
I was wrong. It was Austin. Dang. I would have bet money on Dallas. I would have lost.
And we would have lost. Yeah, I'm trying to like when did cons really start being a huge thing?
Well, San Diego started in what, the 80s? And San Diego was like the first big convention, right?
Yeah, that's something I'm probably gonna have to look up because but what I'm trying. I guess what I'm trying to say is like when I was like a kid and I really got into comic books, like the Wizard World, I guess, was the only Comic Con that I ever really heard of.
Oh my gosh, The first Comic Con was 1970 in San Diego.
I wasn't even here.
No, nor was I.
Hey guys, can you
Uh-oh.
hear me?
Hello.
Yeah.
Let me
Oh,
see.
wow.
I want to see if I can actually change my camera to where it's on me and not my table.
See, you have an action figure. That's
Yeah,
nice.
I was trying to make it out.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Um, I can show this real quick. Let me turn on light.
It's an exclusive.
No. It's a Sucatano,
Oh, nice.
and I actually found this at Walgreens, and they couldn't ring it up. And the guy's like, "Well, how much you want to pay for this?" And I said, "You're asking."
$1.50.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm like, "You're asking me how much I want to pay?" I said, "I'll pay $12," and he actually only charged me $8 for this.
Oh,
That
nice.
is fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Congratulations. That's
Now,
badass.
Walgreens?
yeah, Walgreens.
Yes, I know where I'm going.
I was gonna say like, we're gonna have to cancel the show early.
Isn't there also a purple version of that?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Walgreens, they come across certain toys every once in a while, and if I see one I want like this one, I'll go and pay the price because they actually charge only $20 for this one.
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought. Like,
yeah,
oh, there's the purple one.
yeah, there you go. Gosh, I got a bunch of other stuff. Let me turn off my camera. I'll get some more stuff, and I'll see if I can get the camera to turn around.
I paid a little bit more than $8 for that.
I also got an action figure recently. Yep.
What action figure is that? Oh, nice. Is that the Baroness cycle?
Indeed.
What's
Hey,
up?
what's up? Cat's got a beard for the ages.
Yeah, you could say that. My face hasn't seen a razor in like 2 years.
Man,
Yeah. The other cool thing was I went there one day and they had. Oh yeah, that's another one. Let's see. I'll just pull out the Star Wars ones I recently got. I got them all at Walgreens, and the price I paid for them was insane. Let me see if I can get that like this.
Like, does your Walgreens like have no idea what Star Wars is?
they have no
They're
no
just
POS
like,
system.
they're like, how much you want to pay for this? You're like,
Well, I think what happens is like, when they get their shipments, they come in like little crates. So it could be a mixture of a bunch of stuff. And I don't think they take the time to actually put the barcode, in their system.
Right.
So it doesn't ring up. And I've always been honest with them, except for this time. I was like, I'll pay $12, Because I mean, he asked me, he says, what would I pay for it? Not what the price was. So like this one here, Death Watch Mandalorian. I don't know if that's too much of a glare. See something real quick.
oh, it's good to know that I'm not the only one that has fucking problems with their lighting.
Yeah, I'm on location, so that's why. But,
No, I can see it good though.
yeah, this one here, it's on the shelf. Is at another Walgreens, and they're selling it for $24, right? So I went up there. They couldn't ring it up like Ahsoka Tano there, and he says, "Well, how much was it?" And I said, "Well, I saw it on the shelf. It was like next to a price of $24 and like $20." And he goes, "Well, okay, I'll do something." And he actually only charged me $5 for this. So I'm like sold.
Like,
You
yes.
know? Yeah, and then I couldn't believe I found this one either. The Clone Wars. It's Darth Maul.
Good Lord, man! Like you just struck gold. Like,
Nice.
Yeah.
that is fucking badass.
Yeah. I mean, I try to stay away from these because they're really expensive. I mean,
Right.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
they're insanely expensive. And then you guys all, I know some of you collect pops and stuff, right? The Funko Pops.
I
I
got
have one.
I got a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, Walgreens, just like Target, they all have their own exclusives.
Yep. Yep.
And God, for a long time, I was trying to hunt down the Omega Red one. And I just must have been missing it, and scalpers going in there and grabbing them all the time. So I'm out in another part of town, not in Eugene, but I went out towards Springfield, and I went to the Walgreens there, and I'm looking around. Sure enough, they had four of them. And I was like, oh crap, I got to get this, Sorry for
You
my
were like,
language. So I was gonna buy two, one for me, one for my brother, because I know he just collects like me. And I went up there to ring it up, and I put in my code, and it went from like $10 to $1.09. And I'm looking at them like, is that right? She's like, yeah, must have been on sale. I'm like, okay. So I go back, grab the other two. So I bought four of them, all for just $1.09.
Wow.
that's fucking
So
awesome.
yeah, I figure my luck streak is going good, so I'm gonna try to spread that luck.
What kind of cheat code is that?
He's
Damn.
like,
Yeah, I know, huh? Well, I can't tell you. It's a phone number I use, so I can't.
No, no, no. You're fine. I'm just messing with you. It's like,
Oh,
that's
I
awesome.
know, I know. So, how you guys been doing?
Living life, man.
yeah,
Living.
doing pretty
Well,
good. Doing pretty good.
Nice.
oh, I didn't even realize you messaged on here. Sorry.
Oh, that's all good.
Yeah. Where are you in Oregon?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I can
Yeah.
remember. It's been forever. Like literally like 5 years since we have seen you face to face, so to speak.
Yeah, I've been yeah, I just been real busy. So,
Oh, wait. We took like a 2 year hiatus, so you know.
Oh yeah. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I noticed that it was funny. I think I messaged you the other day, Pope. I said, "Oh, I went on your YouTube and I didn't see any videos, and I realized you do them all live." And then you told me the reason why you do them live, and I, that's how long I haven't really put out videos, and I forgot how easy it is to do a live video stream than it is to actually record one, then upload it. It's like
oh yeah.
pain in the
Like
butt.
straight up, like my two top reasons is one, I'm lazy because I don't want to like edit and I don't want to like wait to upload the shit. I was like, I could just do it live,
Yeah.
and like it'd be the same as uploading a video because if you miss it, like you're not missing anything. Like you just go on and watch the video whenever you want to, and you can do that with live videos. So it's just like, and plus I'd rather like if people hop in the chat, like
Right.
to talk to them.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I was gonna say, for you guys having me on, and I've always wanted to send you guys something, both of you. I mean, it's not a big thing, but I'm gonna try to get you guys these books.
Oh, sweet.
Star Wars Adventures.
Yeah, and out of all places, at a dollar store.
What?
Really? Was
Yeah,
it like a pack or just random?
not just random ones for like this for $1.
That's sweet.
That's really
Yeah,
interesting.
I wanted to send you guys one because I got 4 copies, and I only really need one. So,
Right, and with your
but
discount, it was 25 cents. So
yeah, because this is the #1 issue. I only have one cover of this, or else I'd send you guys this as well. But I'm
that was
still on
pretty
the
cool.
hunt for it. Yeah, I mean they're neat little books. They're definitely a comic book. And to find it at a dollar store, I thought that was kind of unique.
Yeah, that was
So
really random. As I knew they
yeah.
were doing like, you ever heard of a store called Ollie's?
Hmm.
Yeah, I have an Ollie's and
So Ollie's has like 5 and 10 pack comics. They're just
Hmm.
random, but they're like what, $4 for 10 comics or $5 for 10 comics.
yeah.
Hmm.
But anyways, I just saw those. I don't have an Ollie's where I am now, but I did stop
Hmm.
at one in Kansas City when I went down to the Kansas City Planet Comic Con or whatever it's called. But all the packs were ripped open, of course. And I
Yeah,
was like, yeah.
that's exactly how about every single one at the Ollie's I go to looks like.
Hmm.
And I don't know, like Five Below. I don't know if they get comics or not.
Hmm.
I know they started doing like Pokemon cards and stuff, but
Well, I want to say Five Below did at one point in time.
Well, I think didn't they do a lot of those Ultimate Fallout 4s were Five Below packs, something like that. That's
I
what I
can't
hear. I hear
remember
people
what it
talk about
was,
them all the time.
but God, man, this was a few years ago. I remember. I want to say maybe it was Bad Avenger video because more than likely that's what I was watching.
Yeah.
But somebody had a video talking about Five and Below, and I never heard of it at the store. But I can't remember the book they said that they found there. But it was a really badass book, and I was like, well, shit, I wish there was one near me.
Right.
And then I looked it up, and there was one in Lexington, which is like a 45 to an hour drive from where I'm at. And I was like, well, I'll make a weekend out of it. I'll go hit up the comic book stores there and, go to the places in Lexington that, we never really get to go to all the time. And I'll go to the store, and, man, they didn't have shit in that store. Like,
we're getting one here. Obviously, it won't have. Who knows what it will have really, but they are bringing one here, which is nice because it's perfect when you have as many kids as I do and birthday parties and all that crap that comes up.
Well, I was gonna say I should rephrase what I say. They didn't have any comic books.
Sure.
Right?
Well, it's funny though because of Five Below, they have a lot of $10 stuff too. Contradicting bastards.
But I was just thinking to myself, I was like, people I don't think anybody around my community even thinks about going there to look for an exclusive comic or, So I was just like, man, I'm gonna get the jump on this. This is gonna be awesome. No.
Yeah, that's like when I first found out that Goodwill stores would every once in a while carry comic books. I go in there, but they'd always put the price right on the book. And sometimes, yeah, and it just used to bug me because I'd find some pretty decent keys, for like $1. I was like, oh, geez. So I take it home and I try to take it off, and I was successful a few times, but not all the time. So I used to go in there and I'd say, hey, I'll give you all of my old bags and boards. You could take them and just bag every book you got, and it was like around the time too of COVID, so like, oh, we can't take anything. I said, damn. I said, then get Ziploc bags, get something, And then there's a store out here. It's called St. Vincent de Paul, and they're just like Goodwill. And when I first started going there, I'd just go there, look for video games, just cool little figurines. And they started getting in comic books, and they didn't care back then. They would just throw the box out there, and everything was 59 cents, And then when they'd have their 50% off, you get it for like 24 cents. So that's why I used to get those big hauls. I was so stoked back then. Then they start getting wise, and then they started really oh, these books are worth a little bit more, so they put them in a cabinet. Then the rest is still that low price. But I still love going there, finding books. I was going to say too, I was going to send you guys one of these. I don't know if you like DuckTales, but it's the same kind of book.
Woo.
Oh yeah.
I got 2 of them, so I'm going to put that over to the side here.
That's my childhood, man. You gotta love the DuckTales. Rescue Rangers, DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, G.I. Joe, Transformers, He-Man.
All right, cool. So then I'll have 2 books send you, and then I was wondering if I wanted to show you this Pope, but I'm like, I'm going to show it to you anyway. So I was talking to Rick. I was talking to our good friend Riggedy Giggity, Mr. Rigor Mortis, and
Mr. Rig.
As soon as I showed him this, he was like, "Oh man, he's gonna love it." And I mean, it's nothing extravagant, but when I saw it, the first person I thought it was you. So it's a little monsters truck. Shark.
Shark?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
It doesn't have breastises, but I figured you'd still like it. Maybe it's got something underneath the chassis.
I was gonna say it's got 4 tires.
Yeah, exactly. But this is just stuff that I had planned when I got these. I wanted to at least send you guys something to say thanks for allowing me to come on your show before and now.
Anytime, man.
Oh, thanks. And I'll hit you guys up later on Instagram to get your addresses and stuff. And I promise I won't share that information unless someone says they want to send you money.
Right. Well, we take comics as cash.
Okay. Yeah. But
I
this
mean,
is
I
something.
appreciate that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. And this was something I bought for myself, and I actually got one for my brother. It's a coloring book of the Beatles. Got it at the dollar store.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
I was like, man, I can't leave a book like this. I mean, you could color, you can blacken out their teeth if you want to, whatever you want to do. But it's cool. It's like a cool little coloring book. I just figured, hey, to me, stuff like this is nostalgic. It reminds me of my childhood, like you were saying with the cartoons and stuff. And I probably won't color in this because I'm going to be like everything else, leave it in a box. But
Yeah. I'll put it in a Mylar at one point in time and just I'll put it in something.
So Tony said that Silk first appearance of Silk was in a Five Below pack.
Mm.
And then Hazel Dan said the Captain Marvel 14 variant, which I think is the Kamala Khan cover, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
That was just think how much those packs would be worth right now, huh?
Oh,
I mean, I know that
Yeah.
book is probably down like everything else, but I mean, its highs were high, man.
yeah.
Crazy.
Oh,
Crazy.
funny. Even when I'm on location, I am still acquiring comic books, and I'm just thinking, how am I going to move all this stuff?
What do you mean by on location? I was trying to.
Oh, I'm staying at my father-in-law's house right now because I'm visiting and spending time with
I
him.
gotcha.
Yeah, so it's
So you
pretty
wanna-
cool.
So you want to come on and talk comics?
No. He doesn't collect comic books. I mean, he knows that I collect them, and he's always surprised when I tell him or show him like what one's worth what, and stuff. And he's like, "Wow," he says, "I collected guns when I was a kid."
I used to party with David Koresh back in those days.
Yeah.
We had a huge gun collection. Then the FBI took it all away.
Yeah. He always
Kill
likes
all
to.
my friends.
Killed them.
They took our jets.
Sorry, if you ever get a chance to watch the series on Netflix that they did, that's
Uh-huh.
pretty awesome.
All right, I'll definitely check it out.
I think it's called Waco.
Waco?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to love watching a show called Portlandia.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man. It's so funny because that show is so on the point. Whenever I go to Portland to go to Comic Cons and stuff, that's how the people are, man. They're either really, relaxed and just chill, or others are so high strung. It's hilarious. That show is right on point.
That's funny. I've never been Northwest, I guess. I've only been to, well, I guess I was in Seattle, wasn't I? So.
Yeah, that's. I've never been Northwest.
Yeah.
I was in Seattle.
Pacific Northwest. The people there were interesting though, but also it was during Emerald City Comic Con, so
Uh-huh.
a lot of homeless people around the con.
Yeah.
So I'll never, because that was the first time I ever stayed in a hostel.
Oh man, what happened? I mean, if you don't
Yeah.
mind me asking.
Oh, I was just I only had a hotel for one night, but I decided to stay a second night and just kind of roll the dice, and I got a hostel, and yeah, that was interesting, staying in a locked-in room with strangers. And then the Chinese restaurant next door caught on fire during the night, so I was like, oh, this is fantastic. But the two dudes I bunked with, I guess, one was from like South Africa,
Mhm.
and the other guy didn't say much, so I didn't ask him. So, but it's weird because you had to put all your belongings in like a lockbox, so no one could steal your stuff in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So
They call those night pirates.
yeah.
Pirates.
And they separated men, obviously the men on one side of the building and women on the other side of the building. And then in the morning you go down to a community kitchen and everyone's just like cooking breakfast. And it's like, I mean, it's interesting. Like if you're a single person and got nothing to live or die for, I mean,
That's a good way to say it.
If you don't care if you lose a liver,
yeah,
or a kidney.
Kidney. But it's just, I mean, I'll be honest, I was a bit nervous just because it was really something out of my comfort zone. But you just sleep and wake up and go about your business.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I probably wouldn't do that again.
You want some heroin with your pancakes there, Mr. Price?
I thought that was powdered sugar.
I thought that was NutraSweet.
Exactly.
You guys were talking earlier about Alex Ross too. When I was listening to the program, like he's got these new ones that just came out, and I've been finding them. I don't put it on my pull list because that would just be too much. But he did this cover here,
Oh yeah,
Oh, sweet.
very cool.
and
Is that
I have a
lizard?
few of them. Yeah, uh-huh. Here's the rhino.
Nice. I actually like that rhino a lot. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
like how I envision the rhino.
hmm Yeah, it's kind of creepy though, because you think about it. It's like he did what's his face?
Ace Ventura.
Yeah, Ace Ventura, but then kind of like Silence of the Lambs. It's like he put on a bodysuit and still got the eyeballs. But it's awesome. And then of course MODOK.
Oh yeah, that's always a creepy little man in a box.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that's what I like about Alex Ross a lot, though, is like he, like almost like if these characters were actually to be real people, like that's what they would probably look like.
Exactly.
So, like I think he does a really good job, like I guess bringing them to life almost.
Isn't MODOK supposed to be in one of the live action movies?
Yeah. I heard he was probably in the Ant-Man movie, but I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, you're right. Because that was the one that had Kang in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. So that's I remember seeing the trailer and seeing MODOK in the background. I was like, interesting. They brought him into a movie.
You're like, it's Crane.
Yeah, exactly.
Then this cover here,
you got the Bebop and Rocksteady, and throw them in there. You got the Rhino.
oh yeah, exactly, Turtle. And then I know you guys were talking earlier about Whatnot, and the first thing I thought was this cover I bought. I only bought it because it's a cover swipe, but then at the bottom I see it says Whatnot Publishing, and the only thing I heard about Whatnot is that that's where you go to sell stuff. But I didn't realize they actually have a publishing company.
Yeah, so, I didn't know either.
Yeah, they did this cover here. Of course, that's the cover swipe of Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider. Yeah. So that's the only reason why I bought this.
They did a lot of cover swipes for their Ninja Punk stuff and Quested. Quested did all like Zelda covers. They did a bunch of Zelda video game type covers.
Oh, cool.
Like I'm not dissing like me personally. I'm not dissing like the publishing or whatever. I just thought it was like just interesting. Like I'm not a big Whatnot app fan,
right?
I should say. And like I just think it's weird that like I was saying earlier that like I bought this like retail sampler. I don't know if you saw it or not.
No.
Because I showed it earlier, but like here, I'll open it up again so you can see. But apparently, this is what I thought was weird because JP's the one that told me about Whatnot, and it was obviously an app, and like we thought it was great, a place you could sell comics and all that stuff. And but I looked in the back, and it says it's a Whatnot publishing sampler, and it says it's a retailer thank you variant. So I was just sitting there when I saw this at the shop, I was just like, that's weird. Like they have a variant cover for like a sampler.
The shit that you normally get for free sitting at the counter, they made a variant of and charge you $20 for it.
Yeah, and it's just like I didn't pay $20 for it. Like,
right, but I'm just saying.
I put in my special code and they said, "How much do you want to pay for this?" So I was like,
hashtag special code.
Yep.
Do you know a guy named Tat?
Yeah. He said he would hook me up. I'm gonna do that though. I'm gonna go to Walgreens tomorrow and be like, "Tat told me this was only like $8."
Yeah, he told me that. They're like, "Who's Tat?"
I was like, "Don't play dumb with me."
He runs Oregon.
Yeah, I that's my island. I own Oregon.
It's my island.
Yeah, it's my island. You're crazy. Yeah. Yeah, you know, and the one thing I can say about some of these apps, like the Whatnot, where you can sell books, hey man, I think it's pretty cool that there's things like that nowadays. As as a collector, if you wanted to sell your books, you can actually sell them, and
Mhm.
I think wherever you sell your books, you're going to run into issues, but I just like the fact that there's these platforms out there now for collectors. If you're doing comic books, baseball cards, Pokemon, football, whatever, I think it's great. What works for you is going to work for you. So I just didn't know enough about Whatnot, to, to do something like that. And I tend to not sell my stuff. So my wife doesn't like that too much.
Well,
But
yeah, like I'm not really like trying to like diss anybody that
oh,
uses it
yeah.
or whatever. I'm just saying that like for one, I'm a collector. Like it'd be hard for me to sell like probably any any of my books to be honest with you. But I mean, it's just be like like I guess it's more like the master, like some of the people that work at Whatnot as like company levels and like like I mean we could talk about it if you want to, but I mean like a lot of people have already like talked about like controversies of like like
Yeah. No, we don't have to go that far, but no. No, I'm just saying, like, because I totally agree with you. I look at it like that. It's I mean, I don't sell my stuff unless I have to.
yeah,
But
yeah.
no, I totally get what you're saying, Pope. I totally get what you're saying.
Well, I will
Uh,
just tell you from personal experience that Whatnot is not a good place for you and I to sell.
gotcha.
If you eBay is still the tried and true as far as regular old people. Now, if you're
Right.
exclusive to Whatnot and you got the contract with Whatnot, then they really pump your stuff for you.
Okay,
Oh,
now
I
I'm
gotcha.
not going to name drop or anything, but
Just say initials.
Yeah, she's a good one for Whatnot. Who knew? Who knew what your hero in life was?
yeah, I know, right? I didn't even know. Like I had no clue.
Yeah, there's if you, I mean, if you, I'll just say like our community part of YouTube and all that stuff is a lot different than other parts of the community, as
Right.
far as like morals and values and things of that nature. Um, but there is that other part of the community that is obviously very large and they have a long reach as far as people go and influencers or whatever. Anyone who's talking about something on YouTube is an influencer is in some form or fashion, good or bad.
Oh
But
yeah.
to be pushing a product and to have that platform to do so, and I think take advantage of people because they can, um,
Hmm.
and Whatnot is attached to all of them,
Right.
in some form or fashion. So I just chose to eliminate myself from that world because I'm just not too keen on it, I guess. So I'll
Yeah, I
just
mean,
stick.
yeah, that's how I kind of feel. Like I mean, like if you guys want to like like deal like you guys like that kind of stuff. I mean, like that's just not my cup of tea. Like I'm not much of a flipper.
Yeah.
Especially like from like if you guys, I was just talking about with JP the other day, like just for example, like when we used to do comics and cold ones, like we used to
Hmm.
like do a lot of giveaways and stuff, and like I remember like I was just telling like I found that the first appearance of like Batwoman with that in the 52 countdown,
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
but I went to like our peddlers mall and I found like stacks like this, and I was like, because I just found out it was her first appearance. I was like, oh shit, and so I was like, I saw a whole bunch of these in there, and then I
Right.
got them, and then like a year later they like it blew up, and
Hmm.
like people are like wanting like selling them anywhere from 20 to $40, and I was just like, I'll give them to you, like like we'll just do a random giveaway, and I was like, I will send you this book, like
Yeah.
don't not like, but then again, like I don't have anything against flippers. It's just like some things I think it's just kind of weird to push when or try to. Well, I don't know. I'm rambling on about it, but
No, I totally get what you're saying. It's for me, that's not what I do, but anybody else that does that, that's fine. I have no problem with it. I just, for me, I'm like you. If I could get a good deal on a book, or if one of my friends reaches out to me and is like, hey, I'm trying to complete this run. If you see any, yeah, dude, I'm gonna hook him up. With no questions asked. I'm not gonna ask for anything in return. Um, because I'm like, if I can find it on a dead cheap price and I can get it for them, it's a good copy to save them some money. I don't mind
Mhm.
doing that. To me, that's just what that's what community would do for one another. That's what friends would do for one another. Um, you know, so I totally get what you guys are saying, man, and I'm totally on the same you know sidewalk as you on that discussion.
Yeah,
Um,
I just yeah, it's just way different from the community one side to the other. There's just you have I've heard so many crazy stories from just shady characters all the time. It's like it's so it's so much effort to me to be shady. Like that's not a natural disposition I take. So if I'm going to try and pull one on you, it's got to be well thought out plan. I don't just have that innate ability to, hey, I'm going to screw all my friends over, and I sold the most exclusive covers of my book, and or like I'm seeing a lot of this print run is 500, but then you have 14 different websites selling the book.
mhm.
Well, how can
Stadium,
14
the
people have
same thing.
you're saying the same thing?
They
So
only have
is
500.
it 500 per store, or is it
Mhm.
500 and you're only getting 10 copies each kind of thing, or 5 copies? Like it doesn't add up to me with that kind of marketing. Like or like Hazel and Dan and I will talk, and it's like, are they letting other people buy their exclusive? We
Mhm.
only have 500, but we sold 200 to this store. We sold 100 to this store, so we only have 300 for us, or 200 for us. I don't know how it works. I really don't.
No, yeah, I'm with you on that. There's a lot of times I just like when I go to my comic book store, I say, they know what's on my pull list, and so they'll put that in my box, of course. But then I kind of confused them. I said, hey, if any Scotty Young covers come out, because I really like Scotty Young stuff, I said just throw it in my box. And they're like, well, we can't unless you subscribe. I said, any of your extra ones you have, just throw one in my box. I'll buy it. You know, he's like, well, I don't know. That'd be kind of hard to remember all that. I'm like, just put Scotty Young on my pull box. So they put Scotty Young on everything I had on my pull list. So when I went back the following day, I just was looking at my stuff and they said, hey, why does it say Scotty Young under like, I think it's like under Batman, right? I'm like, I don't know why it says Scotty Young under Batman. I never known Scotty Young to do a Batman cover, unless someone can correct me. So they went through and they took that all off, and then I had to
It's
explain to
under the
them
titles that
again.
you already pull.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just because Scotty Young covers to me, I love to draw inspiration from those. If I want to do a fast sketch like this. This isn't Scotty Young though. I can't find the artist who actually drew this, but I changed it up and tweaked it and made it my own. But I like to do these, and my plan is I'm going to make a bunch of flashcards, and then I'm going to give them to my friends who have kids that want to learn about comic book characters. I
Hmm.
figure I get to give some art away, cheer up somebody, and they get to learn at the same time. I think that'd be a cool thing to do. And I'm not charging anything for it. I'm just like, hey, whoever, when I get a good stack of them, I'm going to try to do that, and send that out to people whose kids want to learn about characters.
That's really
Uh,
cool.
yeah, thanks. And so it's just funny because I noticed if a Scotty Young cover comes out and you don't get it, the next day that thing jumps up to $10, $12. And I'm
Yep.
like, what? I was like, damn it. That's the one book I'm always I hate if I miss finding them or getting them, because I think he does some pretty interesting art. Um, it's nothing like Alex Ross, of course, or Andy Granoff, Andy Granoff, I think his artwork is stellar. I love Charles Vest too. Like anything Charles Vest, David Mack, I'm just like, oh man, I don't care if I don't even have the whole run. I'll just get that cover because I love the
Oh
art.
yeah, I'm with you on that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, this is way off the subject, but uh, nostalgia for me. This takes me back to my childhood. Can't believe I found this for just $1. You know, it's 50% off of that. It's a Cookie Monster piggy bank, and you put the
That's
quarter in the cookie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
just like it's so cool. I saw this. I'm like, I don't care. I'm buying it. I love Cookie Monster. I had to tell my wife though, so she wouldn't be like, "Hey, what'd you spend 50 cents on?" Not just kidding. I told her, it's basically,
you're like the funny
hey,
thing. When I bought this, there was 50 cents inside it.
there you go. So it paid for
Right.
itself.
Damn it, Cat! I told you if you don't have a cheat code for it, don't buy it.
Exactly. But see, he doesn't even have a bottom, so I have to make one.
Oh man, that's why it
He's
was
lost his
50 cents.
cookies. Yeah,
Lodge a quarter in there.
yeah, yeah. She's probably got me mic'd up right now.
So Tony says that's really cool of you, Tat. Great idea with your flashcard thing.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know if you can see the chat or not. I assume not.
No, but that's
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, it was just something that came to me. I wanted to start getting back into doing artwork, and just doing some fun. Because I remember a long time ago, a certain someone was going to think about making their own comic book, and I never got a chance because I got so busy to come up with some ideas for that person for their comic book.
I know, right?
but I think I still have the original idea. So when I do get around to it, I want to try to draw something and show you what I did, and then you can use it if you want. I mean, if you're still
Well,
planning on doing that book or whatnot. But
I remember when I had that artist that she was like, we were all working out the details, and we started on page 1. I sent her some of the script,
yeah,
and she emails me like, I don't know, maybe a week or so later, and she's like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, I can't do this. I quit." I'm like, she goes, "I just don't have the passion for it like you do." I'm like, "Well, obviously it's my project. I mean, I don't expect her to be, you're a paid hand. I just need you to draw what I'm telling you to,
right.
Damn you, draw what I tell you to draw.
But
Well,
I just got like so dejected after that. Like honestly,
mhm.
like certain things really affect me in a way. Maybe I'm just not mentally mature enough to handle. I don't know, but I'm just like back to the drawing board, and it was like all this like negative stuff all at once. So it kind of just
Mhm.
like kind of spun me in a spiral, to be honest. But
Yeah.
so I was looking at it the other day. I was just rereading some of the script and stuff, and I was like,
Mhm.
I gotta do this, man. I gotta do this. And I remember our conversation. So I think Pope and I just talked about it not too long ago. We were talking about that whole scenario when you were talking about doing some drawings and whatnot, and life happens. So
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I'm gonna definitely. I think I know where it's at. If not, I just remember what you were telling me about these characters. I was laughing. I just thought it was like a brilliant way of intertwining all these people. The characters, and I loved it right off the bat. And I think I was just trying to like, you know, draw it in a way where it wasn't so realistic, but it had that feel of that charm that you were describing to me about these characters. And so I'm still on board. I'd still love to try to come up with something for you. And if you use it, that's awesome. If you don't, that's fine too. But I think you really have a good idea there. And I just love the characters and how you described it to me. I thought they were just hilarious, especially
we'll
that.
have to talk. We'll have to talk again because
Yeah.
like there's part of the story that I laugh at every time because I'm like, where did that weird idea come from in my brain?
Yeah.
It's like so silly, but at the same time, like it fits into the narrative of the story.
Oh,
So
heck yeah. I mean, there's one I want to talk about, but I won't say it. But it just made me laugh so hard. It's like you just said, I'm like, where did you come up with this idea? I mean, it's funny, but it's like, wow, but it makes sense. That's what I liked about it. That's why I
yeah,
was like, I was so wanting to get on board with it. And I was like, I started sketching right away, and then I got pulled away and then tried to sketch back on it again. And so I think I know where it's at, the original writings. But yeah, dude, if you ever want to send me some ideas again, I'll definitely see what I can do for you because
well,
I'd love to do that for you now.
someday I'm gonna launch this damn thing on Kickstarter. I know it. Like that's my goal. I'm gonna have this idea and bring it to fruition because I have almost 12 issues written. Like,
See, so I got a lot to work with
yeah,
if I could jump on this. So
and it's
I
just
really want to.
the way I decided to do it was like each book or each chapter, episode, or you want to call it. I
Mhm.
wrote it like an animated show because that's where originally I had it in my mind.
Right.
But as I was writing it, I was like, you know what? Each issue is kind of like brings about a new character, and the story is kind of centered around that character for that issue, and
Mhm.
it all kind of intertwines for the finale. But
Right.
yeah, there's just like um, I don't know. The unicorn character just freaking makes me laugh because I had no idea how malicious unicorns were. Like in mythology, they're not these shiny, shiny little creatures, and I was just like, I gotta work this in somehow. There's gonna have to
Yeah.
be a weird unicorn character.
Well, the one I liked a lot was the mouse.
The mouse,
You remember
Pepe,
the mouse? Yeah.
Pepe the mouse.
Yes. See, I can't even like say it without laughing because I remember what you told me, the whole kind of origins about him. I'm like, oh my God, that mouse is insane.
Yeah, yeah,
But see, now we're talking about people are gonna be asking you down the road. So see, we're getting that Kickstarter going for you, bro. I just
that's
gotta
right.
get the art down.
Gotta get
So
the fuel going again.
yep. And
Um,
you're gonna have to come up with at least something with the shark for Pope.
yeah, I'll definitely have to work a shark in some way. I don't know. It'd be
Yeah.
kind of weird. I guess there could be like a saltwater tank or something that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
I'll
exactly. And then like,
find a way.
if it ever becomes like an animated cartoon, I mean you got the voice right there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he would be the shark. He would be the shark.
Exactly. He'd
I
have
am
to be.
Chuck.
Yep, you are the shark, bro.
It'd be like a.
That's what I sound like. I just
Oh,
hope you
Lord.
guys understand that.
Sammy Shark. So
Sammy
Tony
Shark.
said.
Like my entire life, you guys like don't even really know what I'm saying, and you're just like, yeah, Pope, yep.
You'd be like the Kenny of South Park.
Yeah, exactly. Mr.
Oh,
Rigg
man.
says, "What's up, boys?"
What's going on?
The riggedy giggity.
I was gonna see if oh cool. I did
Good
find
work.
this. I wanted to show you guys this one book. I just came across it. It was like to me, it's like a stealth find because I showed this to Rig and we are both just like, man, they only made one copy of this book, but it's called Battle Zone.
One copy.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they didn't like they
Oh, one
only
issue.
printed like one book. Yeah, I'm
I
sorry.
got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
I was like,
it's
you have
kind
the only book.
I was
in
gonna
print.
say that.
Yeah, and the sad part is
That's the
I
ghost of all ghosts.
yeah, I haven't even had a beer. That's how sad that was. But it's done by Malibu Comics and Marvel Universe. And when I started looking through it, it's just all pinups, artwork done by, gosh, not 1,000 different artists, but I mean, there's a lot of artists that are on this. But let me see if I can show you guys at least a couple of panels. I mean, it's just amazing stuff, and it's just all panels of
Galactus?
art. Galactus with they took characters from Malibu and threw them in with Marvel characters. So you got like Wolverine there.
Good old Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
There was one in here I was just like, wow. And oh, here you go. Here's I believe it's Prime riding Rhino.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and God, I wish I had a list of all the artists, but I want to say like Art Adams is in this, most likely. Just a lot of like really good artists, and they all worked together and collaborated on this one book. And there's some like ones that are pretty big splash pages as well.
I found a sweet 90s pinup book from, I don't know if it's Image or what. Jim Lee did the cover. I know that much. It had
The Hummin,
swimsuit issue.
the swimsuit issue.
Yeah. I got that for like $1.
Oh, here you go. This is the one I was wanting to show. This one's amazing.
Is that Psylocke? No.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think this finger's probably covering a little bit of her up.
You're touching the butt, sir.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hello.
Move your finger, cat.
Oh, I see. Now you only want to see the button, not my finger. Okay. But it's just
I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna say hello.
this
Your,
is this is the
your
last one.
finger's in her butt, sir.
Yeah, there's like one of Nightcrawler. I'm not sure who that character is, but that's Nightcrawler, of course.
That's oh, that's oh, his name escapes me.
That's creepy.
Yeah, yeah, no, he is. And I just thought this book was cool. It's like I don't come across these that often, and as an art lover, it's like one of those great books. But I'm gonna try to find one for Rig because he saw it and he's like, wow. I think there's like a lot of artists in here. Gosh, I'm gonna have to get all the names someday. But I know there's a few over here that as soon as Rig saw the picture, he's like, oh, I know who that is. I know who that is. Kind of thing. So that's why I really want to find that one for him. But it was only a quarter. So, and like
And I
this
swear
one,
to God, if I'm ever like near your area, like we're gonna go to a Walgreens and then we're gonna go to a comic book store.
hey,
Pope's
Pope,
gonna need a U-Haul.
if any of you guys are if you guys are near my area, I will definitely take you to all the places where you can get some good books at good prices, and there's no sales tax. So if it's 25
wow.
cents, it's 25 cents. You're not paying on top of that.
You're like, chat. I got $10 and I need some Star Wars figures.
Yeah, there you go. I'll see what I can do. And then you were talking about GI Joe earlier, JP, and I forgot that Dark Horse did some GI Joe.
Oh wow, I didn't know Dark Horse did GI Joe.
Yeah, this was in the quarter bin, and you got a nice picture of Boba Fett in the back.
Nice.
Yeah, but I did not know that either.
Must have been like between Marvel and DDP, and then DDP went to IDW.
Yeah.
Huh? They must not have had it very long then.
No, because this run I want to say it's probably got like maybe 8 issues in it. But this one, anytime I find anything of Mike Zeck, I grab it.
Yeah, isn't is
'cause-
Mr. Rig a Zek fan too?
Yeah,
Okay, I thought so.
Mike Zeck did. Let me see here. Let me make sure I say this right. Mike Zeck did the penciling in this one. I hate it when they don't tell you who did the artwork. I mean the front cover on some of these. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool. And I want to say Mike Zeck did. This might be like a 10 issue run, or maybe 5. Probably I haven't looked at it in a while. But I know that this one he did the penciling, but some of them he did the covers and the penciling in. So and Mike Zeck, he's got one of those great signatures. If you like to get signatures.
Yeah,
and, and to show him something like this, he'd probably be like, wow, I haven't seen that in years, kind of thing.
I suppose, yeah, he probably hasn't.
No. And
are you familiar with the artist Flops Comics?
Flops Comics?
Flops Comics.
No.
He does like this kind of stuff.
Oh wow.
More independent stuff. But anyways, he's based out of the UK somewhere, and anyways, I got some stuff from him, and he sent me this, but it's got like his own little art book, stuff that he's drawn.
Oh my god.
Anyways, it's just he does like crazy stuff like that all the time.
That's cool.
But he's got his own little magazine going right now. But anyways, I just was flipping through because he's got like just all kinds of. That's one of his popular goth girl cover characters. So, anyways, I just was. He just does a lot of interesting things.
No, that's cool. Thanks for sharing. Because like a lot of times, I don't. Not that I wouldn't support a Kickstarter, but it's just I know if I start going down that route, I'd be spending way more money than I would be able to. But that's cool because if I ever seen that in the wild, I'd definitely grab that book.
And I have he did do some Kickstarters. There's one that I have coming. I had to go through the creator of the Kickstarter to get it, but it's called, oh my gosh, Unconquered Frankenstein.
Oh, cool.
No idea what it's going to look like. Yeah, he did do the Betty and Veronica covers for Stadium Comics. He did a couple of those. But it's that retro look, I guess. I don't know what you want to call
Mhm.
it, but it's that's his style. I have one of his variants that's really cool. Like it's like it reminds me of like the old like those old like metal signs and stuff you would see,
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know. But anyways, he did a couple Kickstarter covers and uh, I don't know. He sent me a bunch of stuff because I bought a book from him and he ended up throwing in a free book for me, which was like people are clamoring for it because it's like this cool butterfly. It's that same chick, the goth girl with the
Mhm.
butterfly wings,
Oh, right
and
on.
that's pretty sweet. But anyways, yeah, he's an interesting artist. Just it's
Hmm.
different, and that's kind of what I like. Obviously, with the Kickstarter stuff, that's my jam. So
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, like I said, if I didn't have the, I guess, the capability, what I'm able to do every once in a while, if I get lucky, if I find books at a decent price, then I think I would be doing like buying Kickstarter books because I'm finding that like I'm reading more of books that people don't hear about as much or like anything that's like an independent publisher kind of book, and I'm finding I'm reading these more than I'm reading like, my Spider-Man books. I mean, I'll read my Spider-Man books, but I'll read these ones probably first before all of that, because I know that this story I don't know anything about, so I'm going to be really diving into it, rather than, oh, Spider-Man, okay, I see he's swinging, he's probably saving somebody, but not knocking Spider-Man, but I just find like, like a lot of these even black and white books. Oh, that's cool.
this is sorry, Hazel Dan brought it up in the chat that didn't he bring send you a card? Yeah, he actually signed the back of the card,
Oh,
um,
nice.
which I have another copy that's not signed. So I don't know
Mm.
how many he signed or whatever.
Mhm.
But anyways, I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I just
What's
No,
that
it's all
guy?
good.
what's that?
What's his name?
Flops comics on
Lots of
Instagram.
comics. Nice.
But
It'd be interesting to find out how he came up with that name. You know what I mean? Like.
yeah, I don't know, but that's literally. I mean, his real name is Alan. So
Mhm.
you know, I don't know. Like like it doesn't make sense unless it's something to do with like floppy comics is where my head went.
Yeah, or
Like
floppy disks.
yeah, like something along those lines. He's not old. He's certainly younger than me.
Hmm.
But anyways, super chill guy. He's does a little bit of this magazine. I have a copy of the magazine somewhere. They're
Mhm.
little, like they're miniature magazines, but it's more like pinup stuff. But it's like
Uh-huh.
photographs. He does a lot of photography, I guess, with these ladies, and then he draws them on some stuff.
He's got
Um,
a good job.
yeah, I mean, I don't know how it is over there, but I mean,
I
he's
need you to lift your shirt up because I'm about to draw Homer Simpson.
right.
Oh,
Nailed it.
Don't
donut.
No.
go nuts.
But he also sent me a bunch of prints. So going back to what we're talking about, free books earlier, I was going to bring
Mhm.
that up. But when I sell something, because I do sell some stuff
Mhm.
online, I usually throw in a free print with almost every order because
Oh, nice.
I don't collect prints, but
Mhm.
like this is some of his postcards that he does.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
Nice.
and he did they're double sided. But
The Spectre.
Yeah.
anyway, so I just usually throw those in with an order for somebody because I don't collect prints. They
Right.
take up a lot of space, and my comics take up enough.
Well, I've been doing this well, let me find a safe one.
Space on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking through this book. I wanted to show this. I shared on Instagram, but I'll wait for you to do that because I'm looking through here. I'm like, most of these pages are not clean.
Well, like some prints that I get from like Quickstar, I put them in these art portfolio books.
Hmm.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I have a shit ton hanging on my wall, but
Yeah, that's
like when I
good.
go to like cons or whatever, like I like to get their prints as well.
Hmm.
You know, when I meet an artist or whatever, like so, like if I don't have room on the wall, I'll just put them in these art books.
Yeah, that's a good way to protect them too, because you can easily slide it in, slide it out. It'll protect it from rubbing it against anything. And it's probably easier to pick up a book like that and look through than pick up each piece.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, I don't have enough wall space. And I was like, what am I going to do with these prints? And I was like, I just felt kind of dumb because, like, when you go to these artist tables, that's what you're flipping through is their fucking I was like, I'll just buy one of those.
Well, that's better than me. I tend to put mine like I'll ask if they have like those big bags, and I'll leave it in that, and I try to lay it flat in my cabinet, and I try to not put anything on it that's too heavy, because there's some prints I definitely want to get a frame for, and then there's some, I want to find a book like what you have and kind of put them in that, just to protect them. So if I ever want to put them out and display them.
I believe I do, Tony. Just so you know, if you're looking for this one.
Is that Superman?
Yeah.
Let's see, okay. Oh, okay. Because on my phone, your screen's about that big. So.
Oh, sure.
There we go. Nice.
He was asking in the chat if I had it. It's double-sided with Captain Kirk.
Oh, nice. Captain Kirk.
The chat.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I've shown this off publicly yet, but I had a commission done in the last little bit. I don't even know if I showed it to you, Pope.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
You sent me. Well, I didn't see. You sent me a picture of it.
Oh wow. Can I see a bathtub?
It's Elsa Bloodstone after a hard day of monster hunting.
Oh, nice.
It's on a black paper, like the whole paper is black.
Yeah. So did they have to scratch that on there and then like add color, or how?
I have no idea. It's a lady in Brazil did this.
Wow.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I met her last year through a Facebook group for commissions and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And we had started talking like a year ago, and she kind of fell off the planet. So I just, life has happened. My own life has been interesting for the past year. So, but anyways, she hit me up, remembered what I had been talking to her about and references, and she's like, "Are you still interested in doing that piece with the bathtub?" I said, "Why, yes, I am." But
soap on a rope.
Exactly. All right, man, it's yours. I'll put it with the books I have for you, which I'll make sure it goes to you, no matter what.
Yeah, I think that's cool you do that, because that's kind of like what I try to do if I'm sending somebody something. Is I try to draw, like these little things, and I try to send like a piece of art with it to just,
Well, I remember, if I'm not mistaken, like years ago, I think you drew on the box that you sent something to me in. If I'm not mistaken. So I can't remember what it was, but I do think you drew on the box.
Yeah, I tend to do that too. I just get I get to a point where I'm like trying to remember what characters my friends like, so I try to draw that on the box just to give them like a little thing. But then I stopped drawing on the boxes because I know there's some people out there they'll see some art like that, and then they're thinking, what's in the box? So then you might not get your package. Yeah, what's in the box? So I started thinking, that's why I'm like, well, I'll draw the art, I'll try to slide it in there and surprise them, and see if they find it. And it was funny because when I sent that box to Rig, I drew that picture of Spectre.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I thought it was funny when he first held it up. Like, he didn't see it, but I saw it like watching the video. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then he didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, he goes, right on. You recycled the board I sent you. And he goes like this and shows it, puts it down. I'm like thinking, oh, please don't throw that away. I was like, because I didn't tell him I did that. But something I sent to Eddie, the comic book guy, I showed him because I wanted to let him know that, like, when he goes to pull the tape off, to be careful. So I did show him the art, but I was being funny about it, that I was sending it to him because he's a huge Scotty Young fan. But with Rig, I just said, hey, be careful when you pull the tape. But I forgot to tell him there's a picture because I wanted to see if he'd find it. And like you said, when he did that, I was like, oh my God, if he throws that away, I'm going to feel so bad to tell him later.
Oh my God, that was so funny, though.
Yeah, and then at the end, he just goes, oh, look, big surprise. I'm like, oh gosh, now you're showing it. because I drew that picture like as fast as I could because I wanted to get that shipped out to him because, he sent me a bunch of Spectre books and he sent me some that, he took out of his own run. So I wanted to give him a couple more that he didn't have and the ones that he sent me, so we can be at the same level and help each other out to finish that run. So it was fun doing that for him. And yeah, I already know I can get him the other issues except for one. So I'm gonna try to go like this weekend and pick them up for him and send it out to him when I can. And I'm gonna try to get these guys sent out to you guys too. And I might throw a couple extra little surprises in there. You know, and I'll let you guys know on Instagram like when I'm gonna definitely do it, and I'll show you guys the tracking number so you guys can find it. So it's not lost,
Oh, sweet.
kind of thing.
Well, that's awesome of you, man.
Hey, no
Always
problem.
appreciated. Never expected.
Oh, exactly. You guys always supported my channel. You guys have always, like now talking with me, let me hang out and stuff. So I really appreciate that. That means a lot, especially with times of, like you
I
were
mean,
saying
a lot to
earlier.
me, man. Like you're cool. I love talking to you. Like,
Thanks.
like anytime you want to do in my book, anytime you want to do this, I'm
Yeah.
down. Just let me know, man. Like, you don't
Okay.
even have to wait like for an invite on my you can just be like, hey, man, you want to like do a video and just bullshit? Like, I'm all about it.
Okay.
Yeah, and we
I'll,
don't
I'll
even. I mean, we can always have a conversation without being on YouTube as well. Like this is StreamYard works without going live. You can still. It's kind of
oh
like
yeah.
the old. Remember the old Google Hangouts?
Oh God.
You know, the Hangout days were the best, man. Like that, there was nothing that can emulate that as far as what I've seen since then. Since they got
Yeah.
rid of Google Plus, like everyone just kind of went like, we all tried different platforms. Nothing was the same. So I think that's how everyone kind of fell off. Well, and the last few years have been a shit show for everyone, anyways. But
Yeah.
like we had GPAP on with us,
Yeah.
shit a while ago. But I mean, I love that dude. Like seriously, like he's just one of those great dudes in the in the hobby, and he went through his shitstorm. We've all gone through a shitstorm over the last few years, and it's just it'd be nice to bring people back together just to have that, because as Hazel Dan says here in the chat, the hobby's better with friends.
Yes.
And that's just
Exactly.
the fact. Like through all the turmoil for the past 5 years of life, I still talk to Pope. I still talk to Hazel Dan. Like they have my phone number. We check on each other. During all this nonsense, we've always checking on each other. And now my Tony's my newest friend, and we talk all the time on Instagram. Like
That's cool.
that's how we communicate. And you know, uh, that's just the piece that I love the most about the hobby. Was when I started YouTube, that's what it was. It was like people helping each other out. Hey, have you seen this book? And then somewhere spec came into shit on everyone's parade, and like I don't care about spec stuff. That's not even like a thing to me anymore. I went through that phase, and I was like, this is like too much work. I don't want my hobby to be work.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
I'm
no.
not passionate about. Oh, did I get the latest Spider Boy book, for example, that's new this past week that everyone's talking about? I just don't care. I really don't care. Like I tell anyone, if you don't, FOMO is the worst thing in this hobby. Like it's just insanity to me. Like don't stress over a book that has 500,000 copies made of it. You're gonna find one cheaper later. I promise you. Like
Oh, for sure.
It'll ride its wave and then on to something new next week. Like it's like ADHD for comic books. It's flavor of the week stuff, and I've got so much more peace in the hobby, not thinking about spec or worried about spec. I just collect what I like, And when I die, my kids are gonna be like, "Man, Dad really liked boobs."
Dad really liked weird sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what my kids will say about me. Yeah, I really don't know what my kids will say about me. Hopefully, it won't be like that I was late for dinner or anything like that. But just gosh, man. I mean, if anything, I hope they just remember like that I love to do art, and hopefully that inspires them to do it themselves. Because when I see my younger son drawing, it's funny. He is his toughest critic, but he drew this little picture of these three little birds on a piece of like a branch or something like that. And me and my wife were both like, okay, we're getting that as a tattoo,
Sure.
we're
Sure.
gonna do that,
That's awesome.
but yeah, I mean, I don't know. My kids would probably, they wouldn't know where to start to say what I liked, because I just pretty much collect, and it's a fun hobby, but it gets overwhelming. But
Well,
I definitely remember when I first started. It was my brother got me hooked on to doing YouTube with him, and then he helped me come up with my name and start my channel. And I just remember my first video. I apologized so much that even I couldn't stand watching my video, you know. And but then I remember like you said with GPAP, he was always with Undisputed Frost and Merc with the
yep.
Mouth. I mean, their show was it something Awesome Guys or Five Awesome Guys or the Awesome Guys, I think it was. And then they changed their name later. But yeah, I used to love watching that show, and just hearing those guys talk and pick at each other like brothers would do, and it's like when you guys did your show, cold comics and cold ones, right?
Yep.
Or is it cold ones and comics? But I just remember like it was just cool because like you guys were just going back and forth with the banter, which was hilarious. That's why I just started watching your guys' show. And the beer, that was a cool thing because that's when I was also doing a shot. Like every time Pope would drink, I'd drink, or you drink, I would drink. Behind the camera. It was just a fun way to hang out and hear these cool stories, whether it be about comics or life or just anything. Like it was just those were the fun times, and I think it's slowly getting back to that. Especially like with your guys' channels, you guys are starting to be more active again when you can. It's starting to bring back that feeling, of how fun it was, rather than now it's like you said, chasing after this book and then feeling like God, like this sucks, I can't get this, and then you start killing your hobby that you started loving in the beginning.
Hmm.
Um, and my motto is, if I found it once, I'll find it again. And if anybody watches my videos, they'll know that a lot of times when they paid for a book that was, let's say, $20, they might see that I found it for 49 cents, and that's not
We might go into Walgreens and be like,
exactly. But that's not me bragging. That's just me saying, hopefully to the people that watch my videos, it's like if you just wait a while, you will find that book, like you said, JP. You'll find it at a cheaper price that you're comfortable paying, and then all that worries about never getting that book, you just got it now. Now you
Yeah.
can enjoy it. And I think that's probably one of the best things you can do for yourself is, don't stress about it too much, and you'll get it someday. And when you do, you're going to enjoy it even more.
or
Rather
one of
than
your friends on YouTube will find it and just send it
yeah,
to you. Okay.
yeah. Or
That
they
is
might go to Walgreens, use my code, say TAT Comics, and they're
Just
like, oh,
tell
it's free.
just tell them Cat sent you.
Yeah, and then it's like all of a sudden your thing is free, then I get a bill.
right.
How's that happen?
It was just secretly your
Damn
cat.
you, Pope! Damn you, Pope! You're sitting back there going, hey, and I'm going, that thing. But yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's just I love this hobby. It's fun, and I like I said, my pop collection is getting out of control. I'm not as high as, let's say, a certain someone, and I love his channel, Spider Grandpa.
Yeah,
I remember
it's
him.
not a great. He's like,
Is he still
Yeah,
doing the pop thing?
on Instagram he'll show. Yeah, he's up to 1,958. I want to say.
good God, I could. Well,
Is he
can't
still doing YouTube?
say anything.
I haven't seen him do a YouTube video in a long time. Just like I haven't seen Huey's comics do a video in
Because
a
they
long
used to do that
time.
show together, right? Like they
Hmm.
the three or four of them. Drew
Hmm.
was on there every once in a while.
Yeah.
And Paul. I don't know if Paul still does stuff.
Paul does. I want to say he does a lot of more on Instagram now, like a
Okay.
lot of them do. But I just haven't seen Huey in a while. I talk to him
Sasquatch.
occasionally. um, yeah, gosh, like earlier I heard you say Bad Avenger, right, Pope?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's his
Yeah.
guy.
Well, I've been binge watching his videos, and I just love his message, really, honestly, and
Oh
how
yeah.
he's talking about certain books, and it's he's helping me rethink how I collect, and it's not that I'm following his footsteps per se, but now when I see that book that he was talking about, and I'm getting it for about the price he paid for, I'm like, this is cool. This is fun to hunt for this, and that's
Oh yeah.
it. it's I really like his channel. I think he's doing an outstanding job with his collection. Um, there's like a lot of channels I still try to tune into, and new ones that I try to watch. Get involved with, and I always at least try to leave a comment, or I always give a thumbs up. You know, I always do. Um, but yeah, it's I'm just trying to keep up with the Joneses, I guess. But at the same time,
I hear you, man.
yeah, at the same time, I'm definitely collecting what I like to collect, and someday I'll sell my collection off, or start giving to people that I know would really enjoy it, kind of thing. So, but my art's always free. My comics might cost, but my art's always free. So,
For sure. I have a new video, a new series dropping tomorrow. I'm doing it's called Kicking It with Kickstarter.
oh, cool.
So it's just I'm going to focus each episode on a new Kickstarter and just kind of show people the value in it, because there is value there. Like, no matter how you collect, and if, you don't have to sell stuff, but if, like me, there's if you, more often than not, you can buy a set of a book. One will be a regular version, the other one will be the risque version. Well, I don't keep the risque versions around, so I usually sell those, which pays for, because they sell for more. They always sell for more, so that pays for the other book. So I essentially got my investment for free.
Cool.
So I'm going to be launching that tomorrow. My first focus is going to be on Gaslighters #6. That John Stewart is the guy who writes it. He gets some of the most amazing artists. Like, he digs through the weeds of Instagram and other platforms, and finds these talents that aren't doing anything with comics per se.
Right.
But anyways, I just was going to throw that out there for anyone who might still be watching at this point. But just, it'll be up there tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. If I can try and make it a weekly thing, but it's a commitment, So YouTube is a commitment. I've been trying to do haul videos again, just because I found that going, with all the stuff on YouTube now, I still just like people showing books. I like to see what people buy. I don't need to see all the crazy stuff. I just don't need to see. I do watch a couple of the channels that only collect Bronze Age, or they only collect Golden Age or Silver Age, just because it's not my scene, but I understand it. I'm not chasing key books of Spider-Man, Superman, nothing. I'm collecting rare Kickstarter books that I like, and that's my corner and my little niche. But I appreciate all the other stuff. I appreciate Hazel Dan's collection every time they show me some crazy Archie book they get, and I'm just like, holy hell! It's awesome, because it is awesome. It's history. It's
Oh yeah.
You can appreciate those things. I have an affinity for ladies with swords. Don't know why. I can't kick it. It's there. But and there's way too many of those out there, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. Everyone has a lady with a sword cover. Every run, someone has one.
Well, hey, maybe you should do a tag video down the road and say, okay, show your top favorite 5 women with swords or something.
You know what? You're
see
right.
If that takes off.
Terrible with tag videos. I didn't know my top 5 from Pope. He tagged me in a video.
Yeah, no one tagged me. I've just been watching and waiting to find if someone tags me. No, I'm just kidding.
I will tag you. I promise.
Oh, it's on now, Pat.
No.
You have been tagged.
I tell you what, though.
I'm not organized enough right now to go through and say, hey, here's my 5 whatever. But I do have some really rare Kickstarters that are going to be on my top 5. Like, it's just, I searched for almost 2 years for one of these books, and finally got one.
Nice.
And finally got one for my friend Tony, and then I found another copy in the UK that was the metal version. So I'm like, this is insane. Like, oh, I was gonna say earlier, we're talking about that whole print run thing I was complaining about. I noticed today, like, the artist Sozo Micah. She did the Catwoman stuff and kind of got really popular with that Catwoman crawling across the floor over some.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Diamond stuff. I think there's even like a diamond foil cover.
Yeah, and then they did a second print that was purple. and then they did a white version for Golden Apple.
Mhm.
Anyway, they obviously ran with that cover because it was awesome. But
Mhm.
anyway, so she just did her first exclusive on her website, which
Mhm.
was for a Street Fighter Cammy cover.
Mhm.
Which Cammy, you got to have some Cammy in your life if you love Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But anyways, so today I see that because there's only supposed to be 500, but
Mhm.
then today I see that she sent out an email that said there's a restock, and then Golden Apple sent out an email saying they have a restock on it. How the
Hmm.
hell can you have a restock of a book that only had 500 copies?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Did they maybe they had damages or something? And I don't know, but it just bothered me all day. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, how the hell can you have a restock on something that was supposed to be so limited?
Yeah. But the damaging part, I can tell you, like the only time I've ever witnessed that was when Barnes and Noble used to carry comic books,
Hmm?
and they'd only carry the DC title, no Marvel, no Independent, just DC. So, I don't know if you guys remember when that team up comic came out of Scooby Doo with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy on it. How
Sure
that
do.
that book exploded, right?
Yep.
Um, Now I was going to buy it not because it was exploding up, but I just wanted to have like a piece of that history, I
Yep.
guess, per se. So when I went to Barnes and Noble, the ones that they had on the shelf, they were all just crimpled up, torn covers because when I saw them bringing out some other books, they used that plastic twine kind of, and
Yeah.
it's pressed against it tight. So I asked the person, I said, if you have any more of this book, I'd be very interested, check it out. So when she brought it out, it was a stack of those books. I grabbed like the best 7 out of those. And then I gifted one to somebody a long time ago. And I still have 6 copies, and I'm fine with it. I know that thing has dropped off the face of earth, but I'm
Yeah, for sure.
fine with that. For me, I grew up watching Scooby Doo, and I just thought, it'd be cool to have a piece of history, but I wasn't going to, you know, lose any sleep if I didn't get a copy, but it was just cool. I was able to get 7 copies, but they don't even carry comic books anymore, which is kind of crazy. But recently they did get that Batman Spawn crossover,
Oh
the
yeah.
big release of that.
Yeah.
And so Barnes and Noble was carrying one, and I went in there and I wanted to grab at least 2 issues, one to read, one to leave alone. I didn't realize until after I paid for it, got out to my car, I flip over to the other side and they put this big green dot right on the book.
Oh
And
no.
I was like, what the hell is this? So I went back in and they said, oh, that's our way to inventory books. I'm like, there's other ways you can inventory these by just scanning the barcode, you know? Or when it comes in, I'm like, what's with this green dot?
What the fuck does the green dot do for you as it for
I,
inventory?
I don't know. It was like, I'm
It
not
goes in
kidding
the
you.
green dot section in the back.
Yeah,
Putting it on every book.
yeah, and it was like this big, right?
That,
So
Oh
God
man.
damn.
So I saw somebody post like they got a copy on Instagram, and I said, "Hey, I got 2 copies, but mine's got a green dot. I'll show it." So I put it on there, and I can't remember who it was, but they commented back like, "Oh, damn, that's awful." And I said, "Yeah." And then I thought about it, though, it's like, okay, if people want to be speculators, maybe that would be a spec book down the road because I got a green dot, nobody else does,
Yeah,
unless
it's the
other people
The
Barnes
bought
green
it.
dot variant.
Noble variant edition.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it bugs me. But I'm like, you know what? I mean, honestly, I'm gonna enjoy reading it more than worrying about selling it someday. So I got over it. But I was just thinking, why do they do this stuff? It's
Huh.
it's just wow.
Well, I mean,
I
it's
was,
just like half price books putting the fucking stickers on the comic book. Like,
mm-hmm.
just fucking write like 50 cents or $1 on a box and then just put the comics in it. Like, that way, if anybody brings a fucking comic book to the front, then it's gonna be like $1. Like,
Yeah,
there's
well,
no
like
question about it, $1.
yeah, right there it says 25 cents. you know and that's at a comic book store I go to in Eugene, Oregon. I go there every once in a while. It's called Nostalgia Comics. They're like one of the oldest comic book stores. They're actually the first comic book store, I believe, in Eugene. And these guys are great. They have a ton of back issues, but that's what they do. They write a little 25 cents in the corner, they put it in a box, you get 5 of them for $1, right? And Mike Allred, he actually visits that store, and he's got his own full box too. And I get to run into him every once in a while and talk to him. He's such a just laid back, chill dude. Him and his wife are awesome. And he remembered me from meeting him at a con one time because I gave him a couple of my paint pens, that my brother got me hooked on. You gotta shake them up though. It's like a shake, one of those seg weights, whatever. You gotta shake it like this, but you gotta make sure you have your hand up here because you don't want to be down there.
Yeah.
And but he remembered I gave him some pins, so he's like, "Hey, if you got any books you want me to sign, I'll sign them for you." I said, "You sure? I don't want, you're here with your wife, you're shopping, you're talking to the owner. I don't want to bug you." "No, dude, I'm good." So I gave him, I said, "I don't have any books on me now, but maybe I'll put them in your box for you." He goes, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." So I got a couple of ones that I know he's known for. God, and I can't remember the names now. Madman. I got a couple of
Madman.
Madman
Yeah,
books
I'm
for
trying to
him.
find it in my brain too.
Yeah, and then I did grab a Daredevil run that he did, so I put those in his box. And man, not only did he sign them all, he gave me a little personal note saying thank you. And I'm like, "No, bro, thank you. That was so cool, of him to do that." So it's pretty cool. Like some of these comic book stores, that some of these artists will go into them. Like my uncle Randy Emberlin, quote unquote. Uh, he's such an awesome guy. Him, Mike Magnola, Mike Mark Greasy, I believe it is Mark or Matt. God, I haven't said his name in a long time. But he's done like Superman covers, things like that. They all go to they all they live up in the Portland area, and so there's like a comic book store that they go to as well, and they go support that comic book store, which is cool. And I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty. I like it when I hear that artists will do that, or they'll walk the convention and they'll go buy books from people that are starting a Kickstarter. I've seen oh, what's his name? Not Romo. Gosh, can't think of it right now. But he came out with this Spider-Man cover. It was like a #1 where he's swinging in the air. He's got his mask off. God, trying to think of the artist's name. But I saw him the whole time when I was at this convention up in Sacramento. He was walking around buying books from other artists. Not known artists, but just people trying to get it like their name out there. He was going around buying their books from them and getting them to sign it. And he was keeping it in his own collection. I was like, that is awesome. Ramos. I think it was Ramos. I think it was Ramos. But I thought that was cool. I was like, I don't to witness that
Humberto,
and see that was cool. Huh?
Huberto Ramos.
I believe so. I believe it was him. My brother, if my brother was in the chat right now, he'd correct me because I'm pretty sure I'm wrong on that. But I'm not wrong on what this gentleman did. And I thought that was so cool. He took the time to go meet these other artists that are trying to get into business, and he was supporting them. And to me, that's the reason why I came with that story, is because what you're saying, JP. I think that's amazing, man. That's cool that you're doing that. You're collecting something you like, and you're kind of helping somebody else out in the long run, and you're getting their name out there for them. Dude, that's awesome.
Well, I just find like a lot of the artists I collect, if they do a cover for a Kickstarter, it's very limited. So if you like a certain artist and you have an opportunity to get a rare book by them,
Mm-hmm.
by all means, do it. Like Josh Burns, for example. I love Josh Burns' work.
Mm-hmm.
But he just did a Kickstarter book for Jimmy Polito and Amanda Connor's Kickstarter.
Oh, man, Connor, I like her.
It's I didn't realize they were a couple. I never knew that was the dynamic. I thought they just worked together a lot.
I didn't know for the longest time. I was like, damn, they must really. I mean, I just thought they just collaborated very
same.
well.
I was just like, man, they really like they like each other's work. So,
Yeah.
anyways, it's they were bringing back one of those books, man.
The Pro.
Huh?
I said the Pro.
No, it wasn't the Pro. That'd be hilarious.
I have that book.
Which do you have a first printing?
No, I don't think so. Well, did you say the Pro or Super Pro?
The Pro.
Oh, okay. Then no, I
Like
thought you said Super Pro. My bad.
The prostitute.
Oh, okay. My bad. I'm off.
Prostitute superhero, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But anyways, what the heck? Oh my gosh, it's gonna drive me crazy now. I'm gonna have to look because I can't think of what it's called. But it's a book that you've seen before on that used to be with Dynamite or somebody.
Okay.
But they just did a Kickstarter for it. Let me see here if I can pull it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
Painkiller Jane.
Oh,
Painkiller Jane.
Remember Painkiller Jane? I was Top Cow, I believe. Image
Yeah,
possibly.
I have some Top Cow covers. I mean, some Top Cow books. But God, that name sounds familiar. I mean, that the title does
Yeah, she
definitely.
was like a badass heroine, guns,
Hmm.
uh, all that jazz. But I'm pretty sure she was with Top. I think it was Top Cow, like
Okay.
late late '90s, maybe early 2000s, somewhere around that
Hmm.
ballpark. It's kind of that bad girl era, when you had like Cry for Dawn. Um,
Right.
to me, she reminded me of like the female Punisher.
Oh, okay. Then I definitely like it. Let me see here, because you're saying Top Cow, and I know I have I think I have a Top Cow comic, but it's not that one, of course. Where?
They got a ton of people. Like they got Peach Momoko to do a cover for their Kickstarter.
Oh, nice.
Josh Burns, Joe Quesada.
Joe Quesada. Nice. I
Yeah,
like Joe
like
Quesada.
his was the rarest version. It was like a $125 reward, but Joe Linzer did one.
Nice.
Ben Caldwell, if you know him, he does some Vampirilla stuff that's really awesome.
Yeah.
But anyways, just there you
Oh, there you
go.
go. Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Signed by you got it signed by them?
yeah.
Oh, look at you,
Uh,
top dog, all grown up.
I always thought that was hey, what's up, Bubs Comics?
Hey, Bubs.
Did was Garth Ennis involved with that book?
uh, yes.
Okay, he did write it. I thought so, but I never read it. But I was like, I feel like Garth Ennis wrote that book. Like I used to, he got me hooked on the Punisher, his run on the Punisher, the Punisher Max or whatever it was.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, that was the more explicit, adult content.
yeah, I was all about that jam.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me the Punisher, violence and gore.
Yeah, I like him more gritty than more like, oh,
Yeah,
hey, let me walk you across the sidewalk. Oh, man.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
first off, his name's the Punisher,
Yeah.
right.
and he's got
Oh,
guns and knives and swords and shit. Like, you know,
well,
there's
since
gonna
we're
be
on the
violence.
since we're on the subject of the Punisher, it was funny. My friend Jonathan Cholula's Comics, he's like, I got to finally meet him. He's an awesome dude. He's like a brother to me. He shared this clip, and it was at a Comic Con. And there's this guy dressed as Punisher. There's a dude dressed as Daredevil from the TV series, and there's a Spider-Man, right? So Daredevil's trying to walk through this door, and the guy's dressed as Punisher just clocks him and says, "Watch where you're going." And the guy that Daredevil goes, "Hey, how's your family, Frank?" I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh,
I saw that clip.
yeah." I was laughing so hard. I'm like, that is
uh,
just the
I
funniest thing I've
literally
seen in
just
a
saw
while.
that like this week. Like I saw it and I was like,
Mhm.
oh damn, that's you went straight for the cold, man.
That's right. The guy dressed as Punisher said, "Watch where you're going,"
Yeah, yeah,
because he
because he's
was,
blind. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And then he said that, yeah. Well, I couldn't find my top cow. Oh gosh, but I did find some NCS, but it has a cow on it. I showed this before. This I glanced through it, and what I like about it, it has a spin-off of the Tick. I love the Tick, Spoon. But I glanced I glanced through these books, and I'm gonna definitely try to dive into them this week. I only have issue 2 and 3, um, but man, from what I've seen from the artwork in here, this book looks like it's just all over the place, like crazy. I don't know if he's a man-eating cow, but it's just weird. It's like I think this cow, like I said, when I skimmed through it, it looks very interesting. Like it'll catch my attention rather than kind of thing. So I'm interested to read these this week. But I have a bunch of top cow titles. I'm just trying to remember which titles they are.
Like
But
the
the
dark,
artwork, huh?
the darkness, Witchblade.
Oh, I have those, but this one, it's like Yeah, I have some of those, of course, but this was one I got. Uh, this was when I first started learning about that company because I bought a lot of books off this lady who lived right down the street from me, and they
Hmm.
were just all in there. And I was like, "What is this?" You know, I didn't know of this company, this publishing company, but I like the covers a lot. And then that's when I started realizing, oh, like you just said, Witchblade, you know, and I was like, okay, I like this stuff. You know, it's cool. So I started collecting that for the covers. I haven't read them all, but yeah, God, I just wish I remember when it was. I think it had like some had somebody from like SNL, Saturday Night Live, was on one of the covers that I got on the book, and that's why I was like, okay, what is this? You know, this isn't an SNL comic book, but it has that person from the show on the cover. So I'm like, what is this about? uh, I gotta clean up my mess. My father-in-law sees this, he'll just laugh at me, but then I gotta clean it up.
I just think it's
uh,
funny watching JP because he's got like, it almost looks like he's just like reaching into the void and pulling out a
Oh
comic.
my gosh, I literally Hazel Dan sent me a text today because uh, her husband was like, "Is JP pulling stuff out of a vortex or something?" I was like, I told her I was like, I'm gonna have one of my kids hide under the desk and just.
like wear like a mask like of it or something.
Yep.
Just that would probably freak me out if I was really tired. I'm like, dude, there's something behind you, you know?
Thanks, Bubs, for popping in.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
Have a good night, Bubs. You know, that's another great channel, Bubs and Metarog and DS. What they do on their channel too. I like watching their show. They have a really great show. Really unique, you know.
I have to go check them out. I have to reconnect with that side of the community, you know,
right.
because when I came back to YouTube, it was way different than when I left.
Like,
Everything's about money, 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 money. Oh, I've
yeah.
sold this, I sold this, I sold this. Check out my Whatnot show. Hey, check out my live sale. Hey, check out this collection I'm going to buy and flip. And it's like,
Yeah.
holy hell, is there like anyone who collects books anymore? Like, is it, you know?
Yeah.
I got
That's
my
that's
Grail book and I sold it yesterday. like, what? Like, what?
yeah, exactly. So that's how like with the shows that I've been trying to watch, I've been trying to stick with the old stuff, you know, like people that are collecting or talking about a book, describing the book. To me, that's more interested in like, hey, $50, you know. I'll still watch some of those every once in a while just to see what a book's going for or see what people are talking about. Because if they're selling it for high money and I got it for lower end, then I know, hey, maybe, you know, something happens to me, I can sell that book if I really need to. Or, you know, I can tell my kid, hey, here's something you go buy yourself a car with. you know, you're not taking it out of my account. You can just take
That
this
would be
book.
nice.
You know what I mean? Something like that. But I do like to watch people's you know, how they express how they're trying to sell, because then I'm like, it's like almost like watching PVC sometimes with certain people.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are a lot of auction shows I do like to go in and watch, talk to the people in the chat, you know, um, and just and the guys that are doing the auction, I know they do more than just auctions. They really collect themselves, but they're selling a
Yeah.
book now because they got a better graded book of it, you know, or to put in their collection. So they're going to sell this
Yeah, I
lower
have
end one at a
no
good
problem
price.
with people selling books. That's not that's
Yeah,
not a thing with me. But it's just when it's all that channel talks about. You know, like I
yeah,
like I watch the New York Warriors. I'll watch their auction.
yeah.
I may not chat, or I may just watch just to see because I find those guys interesting. I
Hmm.
watched their CGC unboxing video yesterday, but
Oh,
I always like everyone's video, but I may not comment just because I'm just weird like that. I'm low key all the time. Uh, But I remember like literally how we met everyone was through chat.
hmm
When we were doing live shows, or before, that's how I met Sean. All this started with a joke.
hmm
With we should do our own show and call it Comics and Cold Ones.
yeah.
That was literally how it started. And
And it's funny that he said it because I was just like, that's a good idea.
I was like,
Nah, come on,
I
Pope.
like comics. I like beer. I can do this. I can do this.
but
I can drink with the best of them.
Yeah.
I think when I first started talking to Sean, it was like I think he maybe had like 50 followers at the time. Like
Hmm.
he was new to the community, and I was like, "Hey, I want to send you a book or something and welcome you to the community." Like, 'cause that's how I did things. Like if I met someone, that was like, hey, this is just a welcome gift, whatever.
Right.
Didn't have to be monetarily huge. It was just something I felt like he needed or
Yeah.
whatever. Or if you try to watch people's stuff, you kind of see what they collect, and then you can kind of do that stuff. But
Hmm.
but anyways, there's a channel I came across recently called Lunch Money Comics.
Hmm. Let me write
Dude,
that
Well,
down.
they beat up kids for their lunch money and then
well,
spend it all on eBay.
I think he's an East Coast guy, like Massachusetts or something. But I enjoy his content because it's usually him going out digging.
Hmm.
Like he's just going through flea markets, comic books, whatever. He's just, but he collects stuff that I don't. But I
Right.
find it
Right.
interesting because of like his whole origin story was when he was a
The origin
kid.
story.
When he was a kid, they were poor. His family was
Hmm.
poor, so he would use his lunch money to buy comics.
Okay.
Like that's kind of his whole origin thing, and I found that enduring, or so I was like, oh, or endearing. Um, so, anyways, I watch him on occasion. He's just, he's got like 2,500 subscribers, so he doesn't need me. But I find,
Right.
I find it interesting, um, what he's about. It's a lighthearted channel for sure. It's
Right.
not anything serious. He's not trying to pump anything. He just, he collects what he collects, and he tries to get it as cheap as possible. And
Yeah.
that's you got to respect that. So
Well, then I wrote that channel name down. I'm definitely gonna go sub him because that's what I try to do.
yeah, you might like him.
Yeah.
It's I think my other favorite recently is the oh my gosh, they have such a long name and I always screw it up. It's like future past vintage
Oh yeah.
collectible,
Okay.
something like that. And
Hmm.
now I like it because it's a father and daughter. He owns the business, that he's
Hmm.
in it for the business. But I'm like, oh
Future
my gosh,
past vintage collectibles.
yeah, there you go. I'm terrible with it. It's just so long, but I comment on their stuff once in a while, but I
Yeah.
just find them because that's like my dream scenario, right? I have
Hmm.
three daughters, and all of them can draw if they want to. They all have that artistic bug that I never had,
Hmm.
and I try to encourage it all the time, but it's like, my oldest daughter is 25; she doesn't care what I gotta say, and then my younger two, they're 13 and 10, so
Hmm.
um, but they love drawing, so I always
Hmm.
say, hey, you're looks like you need a sketchbook, so here you go. Like
Hmm.
my 13-year-old the other day grabbed one of my spiral notebooks out of my room, and I'm like, okay. And then she comes back and just sets it down, and she drew the thing
Hmm.
from Adam's Family or whatever.
Adam's Family. Yeah.
Like, why is there a creepy hand? And I was like, oh, that's why there's a creepy hand on the paper. But she, I've encouraged her. Like, I just, I'm like, just explore your artistic side. If you have that in you, work with it. Do something with it. You don't have to draw
Hmm.
comics for dad, but you can do something with it. Like,
Drawing comics for dad.
you know, my 25-year-old, she was wanting to be a tattoo artist.
Hmm.
Hey, do your thing. Like, go for it.
Yeah.
But
I was saying, like my younger daughter, that's what she's doing. She's really getting into art now. So I'll go out and buy her canvas, for her to paint on. I'm starting to slowly let her use my art stuff that I have because I see how she's really delicate. She's not like,
right,
kind of thing. So I'm like, here, you can use some of my paints. You can use some of my brushes. Cause like you're saying, I want to inspire her. If that's what, helps her, just be creative, get out of her head and have fun, kind of thing. I mean, she could be
yeah,
doing worse.
that's why I used to write. That was my thing. That's what got me into writing. Was my stepmom encouraged me to no end. Like,
Hmm.
um, besides the whole sex talk, she also
I was gonna say, like, come on, JP, we're going to the art store.
I did not expect that coming.
No,
You got me there.
uh,
no way.
well, you probably weren't watching when I told that story, but that was the
No, no.
very beginning of the show. I think I dropped that story. But it was the most. Seriously, you cannot have a more bizarre as a 12, 13-year-old boy to have your stepmom give you that talk. I mean, I wish I could put it in more context because my stepmom didn't talk. She wasn't a talker. You weren't gonna sit down and have a lengthy conversation.
Hmm.
She kept to herself, but she was super talented. She could play
Hmm.
piano, play guitar. She was an artist. She like she had that. She's left-handed, so whatever side of the brain that the artistic side is on, she was, But I just felt like my dad oppressed her so much over her lifetime. Like that's just my honest view, because she had so much talent and did nothing with it.
Nothing with it. Yeah.
But it's just, no, I don't want my kids to have that looking back and say, oh, same with me. If I don't get this freaking comic book made, no matter what the result is, if I don't do it for myself, it's a personal thing, right? You gotta.
Right.
I'll be looking back when I'm 80 years old, if I'm still alive. I'm like, you could have done that. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that. I could have done that guy.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't want my kids ever feeling that either. Just if you want to draw.
Yeah.
You want to do TikTok videos, please draw.
I'm with you on that. Oh God, TikTok. Yeah, no, I'm 100% agreeing on that big time. Yeah.
Well, I may get banned eventually here, so it won't be a
hopefully
TikTok. One state already banned it. I don't know if it was Tennessee or what, but one of those states they got TikTok the heck out of town. Well,
yeah,
I think they're trying to make it where you have to be 18 or older to use it now.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with that too.
But kids are smarter than we give them credit for. They know how to at least what I've experienced. I'll just say that they know how to fake accounts and fake. They know how to change all that and make it work.
Oh yes.
Because I've had to close one, cancel one, close one, cancel one. They keep popping up, so I just kind of like, okay, block them from the internet. That's all I can do, kind of thing. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Well, because I mean, no matter what your beliefs are or what my beliefs are, someone else at school doesn't have the same beliefs. So, like there's a girl, for example, that rides the bus with my kids, and she's 13 and she's vaping. I'm like, at 13 years old, you don't need to be doing that, in my opinion. But her parents supply her with it because that's how they are. And it's like, try and tell your kids why that's not okay, and then, well, my friend does it. And, I'm the bad guy all the time because I'm the only kid in school that doesn't have a cell phone. I'm like, cool, you'll thank me later.
Yeah, I wish oh man, that's like a whole nother story right there. I could go into with you on that. Yeah, I've been there. I got 4 kids, and yeah, it's 2 boys, 2 girls, and it's, oh my God, dude. But yeah, that's you're gonna make me cry, man. It's like Barbara Walters or something. But I'm not gonna go there, man. I'm not gonna go there because then there'll be a meme of me somewhere floating.
Yeah.
But I hear you. It's crazy just what nowadays what kids are able to use, because when I was growing up there was no such thing as that. Your phone was attached to the wall with a long cord that you could take from the kitchen to your bedroom, but then when you go back it's all crumpled up, and you piss off your parents kind of thing. Nowadays, God, what they can get their hands on, it's scary.
Dude, we shared a landline with my grandma, so you could pick up the phone and hear the church ladies talking, And I'm like, I need the phone, but I can't use the phone until grandma gets off the phone a quarter mile down the road. And I'm like, I go back and they're still talking 2 hours later. I'm like, grandma, I need the phone. Who is that?
Who's on the line with us? Yep. Oh yeah, I remember those days.
So that was like a legit thing, but I didn't realize, as a kid, that we shared everything, probably illegally, with my grandparents. Electricity and water.
Water? Oh my God, man.
Yeah, like my dad had dug a trench and spliced off hose or whatever it's called, PVC pipe.
Yeah.
So everything was on one bill. And they would just pay my grandma. Like, I had no idea that the stuff we did or the way we lived was the way we lived. I didn't know any different,
Yeah.
But I never thought as a kid where the water comes from and why the bill always goes to grandma and we just give her money.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad. I'm doing a lot of talking and I'm leaving Pope up there, and he's just going. He's listening. I mean, he's a good listener. I'll give you that. Pope is an awesome listener, but I just I want to share, Pope, share. Come on. He's the sharing corner.
I was like you guys are talking, but I was just thinking that especially I remember all the phones. I try to talk to my students about shit. Like I was like, you have no idea. Like one of the things you like when you said spoon, like from the tick, like they were all doing something and I just yelled out spoon, and I just got like this weird like they're like, why are you just screaming spoon? And I was like, it's a war cry.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
it's the tick's war cry. But I was actually talking to him about like it's crazy from the time I was born until now, like how fast technology like has exploded. I was like, even like it was like the biggest thing I could think of is like game systems. It was like there was nothing, and then it was just kind of like Atari and like Activision, and then Nintendo came out, and then like now it's PS5s. Like you have no idea. Like like Atari was like not even like your pixels were this big. like the character was a fucking square and rectangle, you know?
Yep.
And like then I was talking to him about phones, and I was like, do you guys even know what like rotary phones are? Like, do you even understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
And some of them said no, and I was just like, have you ever seen a phone where you have to go? They're like, oh yeah, I've seen those in movies. I was just like, oh.
Sorry, I know I talk a lot too, but
no. Go ahead.
There was a reel or something popped up on Instagram yesterday, and this lady was like, I mean, she was dead serious, and she was like talking about she was a teacher, and her students had said that, or no, she was a nanny, and the kid wasn't answering this iPhone or whatever, he wasn't answering, and the kid's like, you know what we need? We need a phone that stays at home and everyone can use it. And this girl is dead serious. She goes, well, I hope that whoever's watching someone can make that technology happen. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like are we that far gone? Like
yeah, but I was, like I was just trying to explain to my students that like you guys need to set your phones down and do shit. And like sometimes you guys need times to yourselves is what you guys need without fucking screens in your face.
Oh,
I was like, you know what I did when I wanted to hang out with one of my friends? Like I would call them, and if they weren't home, then like it was either I went to their house and knocked on their fucking door. It was like, is so and so here?
Yep.
You know, like
I rode my bike everywhere, man.
My bicycle.
Yeah. Or like I was like, people didn't lose their shit if they couldn't get a hold of you. Like, they would like, I'm gonna see if Sean's home. Like, so they would call my house, and if I wasn't there, they'd be like, oh well, Sean's not home.
Yeah.
Like, but now that we have like these fucking things, like it's like if you don't answer a text within like just a couple of seconds or minutes, people they flip out. They either think like you're ignoring them, or like like, oh my god, I hope they're okay. Like I'm at Walgreens trying to get this discount code thing.
It comes back around. I love
it. Circle of life. The circle of life. Yeah. Well, this like I did this to my kids one time. I was going through like one of my boxes out in the garage, so I kind of put away stuff, and I came across my old Walkman, my old Sony Walkman.
Hell yeah.
And my kids are like, they're looking at me like, what is that? I'm like, it's a tape player. What's a tape? I'm like, okay. I schooled them, right? I start putting all this stuff and showing them, and they're like, oh, that is cool. Let me hear what it sounds like. I put it in there, and like, oh, okay, I can, it says that doesn't sound like an MP3, because they listen to their phones. I'm like, yeah, because this is what we used to listen to. Even that, I showed them a vinyl record, showed them what a vinyl record sounds like. And then I even had an 8-track system. I don't know what happened to the box. I can't find it. But I even showed them what an 8-track sounded like, because I still had some of this stuff that I collected that I kept over the years. But it was so funny just to show them that, and they had no idea what it was. Because like you said, their faces are always like this, and it's just hilarious. But whenever I need tech support to hook up something, I go right to them. It's like, Sam, what was the password again? Where do I type this? And I'm thinking, man, I'm turning in to my parents,
Yeah.
I used to be able to follow along with them. Now I'm like, oh my God, dude. I will really freak out when I have to go from laces to Velcro. Then I know it's done. It's a done deal. It's a
Oh
done
no, my
deal.
shoes you just you slide into them. You don't even tie. You
Well,
just
yeah, you got slippers, man. Those are sweet. You know what I'm saying?
not even. I mean, they're tennis shoes. Like they're Pumas. You just slide your feet into them though.
Oh,
Like
I have a pair of those downstairs. I can't wear them up here, but I have a pair of those. You just slide your foot right into. Oh yeah. And then I have the kind you have to tie, because I gotta show I know how to do that still. So someone doesn't think I'm one of these elderly people that don't know how to walk kind of thing.
I've been
Because
trying to teach my 6-year-old how to tie. Like,
mm,
like I don't know. I mean, what age you're supposed to be able to tie your shoes, but most of his shoes his whole life have been either slip on
or Velcro.
or Velcro.
he's
You
like,
know,
Dad, I'm just gonna put on the Crocs.
yeah.
Oh God,
That's
those come
his,
back, didn't they?
his older siblings. That's what they have. They have Crocs.
Yeah.
Like my son's like out there playing basketball in Crocs, and I'm like, this is not going to end well for you.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna dunk on that ass every time.
Yep. Yep. My
he,
my my oldest son wears cowboy boots, and then my oldest daughter wears like slippers all the time. But then my two younger ones, it's Crocs all day. And I'm like, man, I wore them for a little while, and I'd find like the bottom would wear down, and then I'd start stepping on stuff that would poke right through. Like
oh
Crocs
sure.
aren't for me.
I've never tried them personally. I'm weird. Like I don't like sandals. I don't like flip flops. I'm just weird. I don't like my feet. Period. To be honest, I like them covered up.
So you're going to be like Doc Holliday in the movie Tombstone, where you're laying in bed and going, "Oh wow, that's what my feet look like."
Yeah, pretty much. Oh man,
Oh my God, that's good.
that's a good movie.
Oh, I love that movie. Well, guys, I'd love to stay on, but my phone's about to die. I'm at like 14%.
No worries, man. We're way past what we thought we were gonna do, so that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Hey, guys, thank.
Don't pass
What do you
out
want
over
to
there.
talk about? We'll just talk, man. It'll just
Well,
happen.
if my phone wasn't about to die, I would definitely keep talking.
We'll do
But
it
thank
again.
you guys. Yeah, oh, definitely. If you guys are on, I can do this. I'll definitely jump in with you guys. This was amazing, guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. We enjoy having you.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, and my wife is calling. So.
All right. Talk to you
Okay,
later.
guys, rock on.
And then there were two.
And then there were two.
Man, that was great, man. How nostalgia was that feeling?
Oh, it was awesome, man. Like, like it's funny because, like, he was talking about me doing live videos, and I was just like, man, if you ever want to talk, like, whatever, just let me know. And he was like, all right. Like, I just thought it was awesome that you were just like, is Tat gonna hop on? I was like, God, I hope so. Like, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, like I mean, that's what we used to do, but everyone's so busy.
Times are changing.
Did you ever play the Commodore 64?
No.
No. I remember it. I mean, we had the first thing we had. My stepmom had a Atari 2600. With Space Invader and Pong and all that. Like you said, the little. Like, could you imagine trying to play Pong nowadays? Like, you don't have the patience for it. It took forever to get from one end to the other. Like all the stuff the kids play now, man.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I suppose we should wrap it up. You've got to be tired. It's 11:40 your time.
Yep.
You got to work in the morning, I'm sure.
Yep.
Sorry to keep you up so late, my man.
Hey, man, no problem. I miss doing this. It was good times, man. Good times.
We'll do it again, I'm sure, soon. So if there's anyone out there watching, thank you guys for tuning in with us. Appreciate it. It was an extended stay at your motel all about comics. Well, thank you guys again. Appreciate your support. Y'all have a good night. Bye.